The more that you say, the less I know. Wherever you stray, I'll follow. I'm begging for you, Gio, to take my hand, wreck my plans. That's my man. Okay. All right, I'll let you know when you can jump in. Oh, so this morning I was walking my dog Neo, and I was like, man, this is a great day. I got coffee, I got my dog back after a week of vacation, Indiana. Christmas with the girlfriend and the family was very good. Gio's here. Gio's right here. He'll introduce himself in a second. So I was having a very good day, and some things tried to ruin it. My girlfriend yelled at me. She has allergy issues. Made her a little spicy. And then I thought about Gio, and I was like, for all the good that he is, there's some bad. He won't make me a mod on Twitch, even though I've been a subscriber for like well over a year. We've done a good thing though. We've done something called the Colombian hot dog, which is for those of you that aren't familiar with this, he's the buns. You put your dick in between those buns. Boom, Colombian hot dog. All right. So he's also he also never wears a mask. He's also anti-Black Lives Matter and anti-Blue Lives Matter. He's anti both. How do you get that? I don't even know. He's the leader of the New York City Latin Kings, and that's all I got to say. He's also one of my oldest friends. Ladies and gentlemen, Giovanni Ramirez. Gio, say anything. All right, do you want to defend yourself against any of those? What about your anti-mask?
I want to formally thank Mr. Gerard here for the amazing introduction, even though he wasn't remotely even close.
On which part?
The no Latin King affiliation.
What about the you making me a mod on?
Oh, that was the only.
That's the most important thing.
Accurate thing.
Okay.
That I could come up with, yeah.
What about that you're anti-Blue Lives Matter and you hate cops? Oh, okay. What about that you're anti-Black Lives Matter?
Oh my God, I'm all for everything.
You're all for everything.
Okay. From a city that never sleeps.
Good defense. What do you think of Dice's selfies?
Man.
Dwayne. We don't have to say his last name.
The story of Dwayne.
Why does he post so many selfies?
He's an intricate creature. Very, very. It's like you can go on his social media daily and you learn something new every day.
About his personal life.
And you wonder, why does he do the things that he does? It's crazy.
What about the selfies, though? Can we talk about his selfies?
I don't know, man.
I don't like them.
Yeah, I don't
so I'll lead.
Sometimes they seem suspect. It's 2020. Suspect. I don't like to judge.
That's always suspect, is all.
If he's trying to reach to a different audience, that's all him. That's fine.
What do you mean different audience, like men?
Yeah,
Okay. Honestly, you know him better than I do. You actually kind of... I haven't met him in person yet. Just this is an online relationship that I have.
He's a good guy. He likes to eat a lot. Yes, sir. He has 10 stomachs.
He has 10 stomachs.
He's a veteran. He likes to flex that he's a veteran.
Oh,
But yeah.
I mean, I'm against the troops, so...
I was never a troop, I did my service back in the days, but not for the troops.
You did your service right here it says in the New York City Latin Kings.
Undercover. Things happen. How
undercover? Oh, okay. All right, that's just what the paper here said, the info sheet. I'll have to reach out to my sources. What about my girlfriend calls you my Facebook boyfriend sometimes. You want to talk about that? That we flirt on social media. And it's not weird.
It's not weird.
It's not weird when
I think that's okay. Sometimes you just gotta let loose.
Well, you're taken. What does your girlfriend say about?
She laughs. It's funny. It's comedic.
It's comedic.
Well, you know it's not a serious thing. It's comedic. So.
It's not even that bad on social media.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It used to be worse, actually, but tone it down, you know.
Right, like
got family, you know.
Like somebody would hop in the party chat. I'm not saying any names.
Dwayne.
Yeah, Dwayne for sure was the most he's the most egregious with this stuff, but like you come in the party chat and what would somebody say, for example?
Oof.
When they're really feeling sexual, like their pee-pee's hard, they want a toto, like what's up?
But like, I'm here to grab some balls, boy. I'm like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So, you know, sometimes you just gotta let it happen.
Would you say it's the tie, the most horny is between you and Fab? That's the tie. Fabian, we're gonna talk about him in a second too.
I think he used to be very horny, but I think his job just sucked the horniness.
He's more aggressive though, right? Yeah, like Fab will hold you down.
Yeah. He's a cop, so it matches aggressiveness.
Yeah, he's a cop. He'll abuse
you
his
see
power.
him in those TMZ videos of him slamming people on the pavement. That's him.
Have you ever seen the movie Crash?
Yes, very.
You remember the scene where the cop?
Yeah,
that's
him.
We're not gonna go into detail, but
100%.
Violation. Just know it's a violation.
Straight, you know.
I'm not gonna say his last name because
invasion of privacy.
Yeah, exactly. Fab's not even his real name. It's Christopher.
Yeah, actually.
Christopher. Now, was he born angry, or what's up with his anger?
I think he just I think he was a peaceful kid, but once that kid discovered Call of Duty, it just changed his life.
Okay.
He just took that anger from Call of Duty. He just took it for every life purpose he served. What
about like he doesn't respond to text messages sometimes for months at a time? What's all that about? He knows him in person longer than I have.
Honestly, I'm at the point where I think he has a prepaid phone. Just to refill that shit. Like.
Oh, so you're saying he's unable to communicate for a long period of time?
He has to put $10 every week in the phone for texting. He has to go to the T-Mobile store and get that $10.
Okay, so he only has like about a couple hundred messages he can send, and then that's it. He has to buy a new card.
Yeah.
Is that Cricket? Is that how Cricket runs their business?
Oh, I'm not sure. He got T-Mobile though. He has T-Mobile for sure.
Who's the most handsome Yepes brother? This is a very personal. This is a very specific. Maybe I'll post screenshots or little explanations, like editing afterwards. The most handsome Yepes brother, Gustavo, who I don't really know all that well.
Gustavo.
Christian.
Probably to be Christian.
Christian, that's what I said. Yeah. I've been telling Tish like that.
A for effort for growing the beard out. You know, he tried.
No, he has his beard is not good though. That's why he said effort.
A for effort. You know, it's almost there. It's just like need some work.
He's trying.
But
if it's not there by now, it's just not gonna be there.
Yeah, no. If it's not there by you're like 20, then no shot. So it's just you gotta admit defeat at this point in life.
Like he's not at your level.
Yeah, no.
Like I can see, like you gotta fight off.
I've had this since I was 15. Nobody at my level.
No. 15.
I used to shave a lot, but.
What if I told you I've been growing this out for like months?
I'll believe you. You see Dice? He has chin hairs.
Oh, he just
flexes. He has chin hairs. He'd be like,
no, he doesn't.
12 chin hairs.
No, he doesn't.
Every time he goes on a Tinder date, he's like, yeah, touch my chin hairs. It was 26 years in the making or something. I don't know.
Wow.
You know, sometimes we're not all blessed.
Go on.
Yeah.
Blessed like Gio. Blessed like you.
So I got this whole beard thing, but I'm not like 6 feet or anything. I'm 4'5".
There's a give and take to everything in life, right?
You know.
I'm 5'11".
I can barely drive a car because I'm so short. No, I'm kidding. But
no. How tall are you?
5'6".
Better to be 5'6" than 5'11".
That is tragic.
No, you don't think so?
That's the biggest lie I heard all year.
That's the biggest lie. Because when you're 5'11", it's like, oh, you're almost, but not quite. You understand from that point of view?
Oh, yeah.
Like you're close to something great, and then the good Lord.
So when you're 5'6", you're just like looked at as like you're not 6 feet. You're small. You're short. So it's fine.
Yeah, right.
I don't have to be 6 feet to be.
It's great. Like the memes of like how women see you when you're 6 foot, and then you're like to the ceiling, and then 5 anything, and you're like a fucking midget.
Yeah, that's true. If you don't have a 6 in your number, then
you might as well don't even put anything.
You're not gonna get a call back.
Don't even put anything in your Tinder bio.
So, yeah. You got to lie in your Tinder bio, pretty much. So.
So fuck church or what, Gio? When's the last time you've been to church? I have a prop. You can talk about.
Last time I've been to church. Good question.
How do you feel about God, organized religion?
All right, my take. All right, my take on organized religion. I believe in God.
Oh shit.
I say I respect, like I have a relationship with God, but I don't believe that you have to go to a man-made house to be putting on the act as in you're innocent and that you'll be received in heaven. I think your relationship with God is between you and Him, and not a house you go to or a pastor that or a priest that speaks to you. That's my opinion on it.
What do you think about this common versicles? So I don't know. You've been boring church or fun church? An opinion? You've been to one or the other? You prefer one?
You said boring church?
Who prefers boring church? Right.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, not born in church.
No. Would this be boring? Oh Lord, open my lips.
When I see you. Yeah, no, that's boring church.
Oh, this is very sexual, by the way. This is what went to church this past weekend because my mom made me. Oh Lord, open my lips. That's the priest, pastor says that. And then the congregation says, and my mouth will declare your praise.
Can confirm this does say that.
When I read that, dude, I was in church with my. Do you ever like have moments with your little sister? You just look at each other and start busting up.
Well, she's too young, but
dude,
like that's crazy. Like,
dude, I couldn't look at my little sister in church.
They specifically made those lyrics. Like that's bad.
Second stanza, we'll call it stanza. I don't know if that's the right term. Make haste, O God, to deliver me. Make haste to upon me, O Lord.
Oh Lord is right. No, that's crazy. Definitely. No.
Do you think priests are inspired by those lyrics to touch little boys? Because they view it as like, you know how some people use the Bible to like as a fucked up justification.
Oh yeah, of course.
You think that could be what
There's
it is?
There's literally like I think in the Old Testament there's a thing about one of the brothers. His brother died. And as like an act of holiness, he had sex with his brother's wife to conceive a child for his brother, and that was in the Old Testament. You can look it up.
Hold on, say that again. So the brother's wife died.
His brother, a brother, right? Two brothers, right?
Okay.
The brother died.
The story of two brothers.
Right. Story of two brothers. The wife. There was a guy and his wife, right? The brother died, right? Mm-hmm. So the brother of that guy had to have sex with the wife in order to conceive a child because it was part of God's plan. It was part of like the whole thing.
God's plan.
So yeah, it was literally part of like, oh yeah, God told me
do this shit.
To do this, yeah. Like I had to.
So he was running up in those guts talking about God told me to do this.
Yeah. Also in those times, it was against God's will if you didn't shoot your sperm inside the woman. If you pulled out, shot the sperm on the ground, that was against God's will. That was literally a sin. 100%. Look it up. I'm not.
So you said you have to shoot your sperm in a woman, otherwise it's a sin.
Shoot your shot, regardless if she's your girlfriend or not. So.
You listen to a lot of Aventura?
No.
Have you?
Not anymore. Oh yeah, I used to.
But like, remember in the songs they'd be like, "This is a sin." They'll say like little ad libs like that.
Like bananas.
This is banana.
Like, yeah, like.
They used to say
what are you saying, man? Like.
But do you think while he was ramming his brother's wife, he was like, "This is God's will"?
No.
You must have though.
Like, I've been winning day one for this.
Well, think about.
Am I wrong? Like.
But I mean, think about how fanatic people are with religion. You know, they're like.
Oh no!
Today they're fanatic. Do you imagine back then how crazy it must have been?
Yeah, you would consider like a witch or something, or a devil if you did something out of the ordinary. Yeah. If you were a follower of Christ, and you, I guess I don't know, you did things that was out of the ordinary that what people would do, and it's just like they look at you funny.
You're like an outcast.
There's plenty of women that have been like burnt because they I don't know.
Like the Blair Witch Trials type shit.
Yeah, like, you know.
They burned them and they drowned them.
You ever seen the movie like The Tooth Fairy?
Yeah. You're talking about the ghost one?
She was literally like I don't know what she was. She was like a monster.
Like a demon or something, yeah.
Yeah, she like if you were in the darkness, she was gonna get you. But the story of the Tooth Fairy was that she used to take care of kids, and the kids burned in a fire. That wasn't her fault, but they thought the town thought that she killed the kids, so they literally put her on fire. They lit her on fire while she was alive.
She didn't do it though.
She didn't do it.
Oh, who did it?
It was an accident.
Oh.
It was an accident. Like the house went on fire, killed all the kids.
Oh, okay.
They thought she did it on purpose, and then that was her revenge. She became the Tooth Fairy, and she killed everybody who stepped in the darkness. The revenge tour. So I don't know.
The revenge tour.
Was
that the one where the guy had like all the lights on in his apartment?
Oh yeah. Always.
And he couldn't
He would never turn everything
Dude, he had the brightest. You know, like the brights on your car. Like when you turn the brights on, like his whole beams. Fucking house was like that. The hyper beams. Yeah. He had hyper beams everywhere.
So fun fact, that is the only movie to this day that has ever actually gave me a nightmare.
No.
But I was like 11 at the time when I seen the movie in the theaters. Now imagine being an 11-year-old in the theaters with all the surround sound kicking in, and you see this bitch flying through the darkness.
See this bitch.
And you're just like, yo, like she's moving fast. Like I remember I slept on a nightlight. It was tough. Every movie I
what about like not Michael Myers or nothing?
No. I'm actually a horror movie critic. Like I actually, if it's not a good movie, I genuinely get annoyed that the movie's trash.
See, my girlfriend likes scary movies, but she's not scared of any of them. So then I'm
like I like scary movies, but I get really annoyed when they're not even remotely good.
You gotta go to a place up here though. Like honestly, like in your head, like you have to, like open yourself up to the scary.
Yeah, like,
because if you watch it like this is a movie, like you're not gonna feel anything.
They came out like a couple years ago. I think it was called Us. With
the black people, and they were like mirror images of themselves.
Yeah, that movie wasn't scary, but it had like the idea of being scary. It was crazy. There was definitely certain parts of the movie where you're like, yo, like you actually jump a little bit. It would be kind of creepy, but
I've been meaning to see it. It's not on Netflix. Movie. I don't think.
No,
if it's not on Netflix,
it's from the same guy that made Get Out,
which was good.
Which is an excellent movie.
It was more like thriller though.
That was a fire.
Right,
movie.
It's not meant to be, scary. It's not meant to make you jump.
Like I saw the last Michael Myers movie, Halloween, and I was like, whatever. It was good, but it wasn't like scary in any way. All the scary, no, not scary. All the Paranormal Activity movies were trash, man.
No, the first one. Well, I'm 28. How old are you?
27.
You're younger than me.
I saw all of them trash. I saw majority of them in the theaters trash. Me and my girlfriend.
Why though?
My girlfriend's over here is hugging me my shoulder.
Oh, she's trying to.
And I'm over here like trash. Like, why are you hugging me trash? Like, I don't.
Why are you hugging me trash?
Yeah, like there's no reason why you should be scared of this. But
dude, this is good.
I finished it.
Dude, the first time I drank it,
it's not bad. I tell you, like
I couldn't even like. The first time I drank it, I couldn't even like.
No, I finished it.
Touch it. I took one sip and I was like terrible.
You gotta get used to it.
I think it's the mood. Like Gio's here, I'm like I'll drink this shit.
Yeah, it's like the Halloween.
Yeah,
you came to
it's
New
just
York.
like a vibe.
You came to New York on Halloween, bro.
You want another one?
No.
I got more.
No, because it's actually gonna make me hungry, which is weird. That's weird. I do get hungry.
What about like not the Asian scary movies like The Grudge?
Grudge was trash.
No.
The Ring was good, but it wasn't like scary. I found it creepy, but it wasn't like.
I didn't get. Do you remember the part of The Ring? You remember The Ring?
Yeah, like coming. Well, not the whole thing, but.
Do you remember the part with the horse? Where like the horse had like the ring in its eye, like the well, obviously.
The well scene, yeah.
But there was the horse when they were on like a ferry, and the horse like ran at the little girl and killed itself. It jumped over.
Jumped
overboard into the water.
That was a weird scene for you, or you got scared?
I don't know. I'm wondering what that had to do with the movie.
I mean, whatever you watch, like, I don't know.
Gio, some people say the Yankees championships aren't that valuable because of how baseball was played a long time ago. But basically, if you win,
we just took a dark turn. I don't even understand.
But basically, like if you win the division, like now you're in the World Series. Like if you win the division, like now you won the pennant, and now you're in the World Series.
I mean, they still had really good teams back then.
You still had to play.
The AL East wasn't like I don't know how good it was. I mean, Tampa Bay I think was good at one point originally for like 2 years or something. Baltimore, I don't think they were ever good. Besides beating the Rangers like 30-3, or was it the other way around? Was it Rangers that beat them 30-3?
That got to be recently.
No, that was like years, like 5-6 years ago.
Somebody got their ass beat like last season, like 30
it was like
to 0.
27 to like, yeah.
Like last year, that shit happened. I don't remember what teams.
The Yankees got the GOAT squad. That's all I'm saying.
They got.
I mean, currently is like, I don't know. I feel like too much of the big cities have made too much money, so now they're doing what the Yankees used to do.
Just buy players, yeah.
Yeah. So.
What the Yankees still can
do.
do.
The Dodgers had no reason to not win for the last few years. They had literally the highest payroll.
Well, they were there.
Yeah, I mean,
they
were
always
there. Lost the big one. Like, it doesn't matter if you get to the World Series if you don't do anything with it. If you get to the World Series 2 out of the
But getting there
3
counts
years,
a little bit.
Yeah, but
not as much as winning.
When you play at
obviously,
a high professional level, like that doesn't cut it. Like, it's like the tournament I was playing in.
Like the Tournament of Power.
No, it's like the tournament I was playing in with the $8,000 tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we placed top 8, but I'm not satisfied with that. I don't care about that. I want to just win.
You're a little low. Could you hold this like?
I want to
maybe
win.
like hold it like make it skinny at the legs, and then like hold it like a mic. If that helps.
I want to win. You know
maybe
what I'm saying?
Maybe that feels weird.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I like it when your audio spikes are taller.
All right, let's go. So it's all right from a champion's mentality. Second place always hurts. Doesn't matter. Sometimes you could take a seat back and be like, okay, for the first time ever, we got second.
Right. Like it's a good
warm up.
Good. Like a real good warm up.
We played well, whatever. But when the next time comes around and you don't capitalize and you don't win, then it hurts more than it should because you don't want to be complacent with second or third, like we were close but not there.
Right.
It's just like this aspect is any part of life when it comes to real life job issues or competing in gaming or sports or whatever. It just like nobody wants to hear like, oh, the person who got second and third place. Everybody wants to see the winners. Like they say, like if you're not first, you're last, pretty much. Yeah. But I think that mentality kicks in when you already achieve the second and third place. You know what I'm saying? When you know that your squad is good enough to win the whole thing, but you guys screwed. Like you guys didn't even lose to a better team. You guys lost to yourselves. So
that hurts.
Like when people used to make fun of Clayton Kershaw for choking, you know.
People.
And then the Astros were like
I'm people. Go on though.
I like Clayton Kershaw.
I know you do.
I do.
How can
I
you
like
not?
him.
How can you not like a multiple time Cy Young? I know you do.
He's a monster. Yeah. But,
I know you do.
But in the playoffs, he was just a different person.
Right.
You
Right.
didn't recognize him. Like, yo, he's getting slapped. He's getting slapped around. What the fuck?
He's getting slapped.
Like, who grew a beard and put on a uniform? That's
he's
not
getting
him.
his cheeks pounded.
So
he's getting drilled.
But I mean. I'm telling you straight up, with the Astros cheating, like didn't make sense. He was playing so well in the playoffs that year. I think it was 2018, and then game 1 against the Astros, he gets dogged.
It gives him a lot of credit back. He gets credit back.
Yeah, like
that was stolen from him.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
He gets dogged in the World Series, and I'm over here like, this doesn't make sense. He can't be nervous now. He was already playing in the playoffs, playing well. Dodgers hit 9 runs off of him, and I was like, oh, okay. Back to old Kershaw.
Yeah, fuck.
But I mean, they got exposed, so.
The trash cans, bro. Banging against the trash. Doesn't that sound so simple?
I mean, when the stadium's loud, you don't pay attention to that.
Well, how about what I don't understand is like teams were reporting it for a long time.
Yeah.
And they waited until after they won World Series, and then the MLB.
That's always going to be like that. I'm telling you.
You're saying they're going to let the cheaters get a little far before they crack down
let me
on
tell
them.
you something. So with Road Company, which is the game I play pretty much professionally at this point,
right.
With one of the organizers' websites that they have admins, they have refs, they are aware there's certain cheaters involved with our scene. But like when we had that $8,000 tournament, they didn't say nothing because they didn't want to put bad rep.
They didn't want to taint the tournament. And bad
rep to the hostess, and they waited until after the tournament to ban those people because obviously it doesn't look good the day of a tournament where you're playing for $8,000 and then people get banned suddenly, and you're why they banned before a tournament? Oh, because they're so you're telling me these people qualified. That's qualifying is the same thing as making the playoffs for something. So imagine a cheating team making the playoffs, clinching berth, finding out they just cheated. You know, MLB is going to be like the same thing as everybody else because you don't want to have bad rep, especially during the playoffs.
Right.
So you're going to wait until everything is done, the dust is clear, whatever, and then hit the ban button.
Now, this is one thing that I'm curious about is I'm too close. How do they know? Like, I've never. You've basically been a professional gamer in multiple. You play Rogue Company, that pretty much fucking professional. I've seen the game play. You played Super Smash Brothers. You're one hell of a Super Smash Brothers player. Like so, but obviously, Smash Bros is different because you're kind of like in person, like a LAN tournament. Obviously,
yeah, it's all in person.
I mean, outside of not Corona or anything, but obviously most of these tournaments, especially when it comes to like shooting games at amateur levels, are like online. So most of the shit you're playing online most of the fucking time.
Well, you could also thank COVID for that.
Right. But how do they know? I'm not stupid. I know that people have programs and they download aimbots, and this is like a real fucking thing in the gaming community. These are computer nerds. They download these programs. They fucking shoot you through walls, and they know where you are at all times. How do you know and not know when somebody's cheating? I'm gonna go grab the other beer.
I mean, when you play at a high level and anything, you realize when something seems suspect to you. Like we know when certain players are suspect because they will know the perfect angle to peek, the perfect angle to throw something at, how many shots it takes to kill somebody. So
this shit is down. This shit is down for. If anybody's watching at this point, to the 5 people who watch, the devil is like in the details at this point of the competition. Like you know everything. There's nothing unknown really.
A week and a half ago, it was confirmed that this guy that beat me in the semifinals of a tournament, who stole my tournament from us because we had a really good team and we were gonna win the whole tournament. We lost in the semifinals 7-6, so pretty much we lost by 1 round. This guy was always suspect to us. That series literally jumped to us that we knew that something wasn't right because I remember we played so passive. And then I remember I told 2 of my boys, like, listen, I want you guys to full flank, both of you guys to flank, which is like to literally go around the whole map behind the team while they're not expecting it, while they're dealing with us. And apparently the other team decided to keep 2 of their players to watch the flank. Perfect spot. Right. And it was the weirdest thing. We were like, wow, this is definitely the most suspect thing I ever seen in my life. So their top best player dropped so much damage and numbers against us. I was like, nah, this doesn't add up. That player, we knew that he was suspect. We tried to bring it up with the developers, but they kept quiet about it. Boom. Like a week and a half ago, he was banned for cheating.
Now, how do they know? Do the developers reveal how they catch people? I'm pretty
cool with some of the developers at this point. And they told me specifically, since they don't have a crazy good anti-cheat system, like a game called Valorant. Valorant has a really good
Like, these are just people watching the fucking game?
Yes, they have to watch. They bring up the match ID, they plug it in, the replay, and they have to watch from the player's perspective.
That's fucked. So, but also, that will reveal some shit. Like, if a guy is watching the perfect fucking angle like, every time.
You'll see when somebody magically turns all the way to know somebody's over there.
Yeah.
And they're like, but there's no idea. There's nothing on the map that tells you.
There's no reason why it would do that. Yeah.
So, but obviously it's also flawed because humans make errors. Right. So,
or you get too suspicious. Then maybe you accuse somebody of something they didn't do.
Yeah.
Like, it's all.
So there's a lot of players that have been accused of hacking. Some confirmed true, some confirmed not. But at the highest level, we already know where somebody's like playing out of the ordinary.
Right.
Like, it makes no sense. Like, we know who the good players are. We know who there's a lot of players that weren't good that suddenly are good now. And when they're accused, they just refuse to stream.
Refuse to stream.
Yeah, they don't want to. So it's just like, okay.
That is fucking
so we're not gonna play with you if you're gonna refuse
to stream. And you can, it's one thing if you don't got a camera, but who the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gaming at that level, you got the gear.
Oh yeah.
You got the camera, the mics, that you got everything.
Like, just think of it this way. Like, how can you be a high player at a game, a high level player, and not stream? People who watch the game.
It's profitable. Why would you not? Why would you not? Why would you not?
If you're one of the best mouse and keyboard players on the game, period. Like, if you don't miss any shots, why would you not stream? people are gonna subscribe to you, donate money to you. They're gonna support you. Like you're gonna have a little fan base, and it's so weird how you refuse to stream for whatever reason. You just don't like streaming. It makes no sense. It's like BS to me. It's not excuses. But it's because, they're covering the fact that they're cheating.
So the because I mean, people accuse you of cheating.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like, first, I mean, I don't, do you even know how to cheat? Like, maybe you could Google, wall hacking programs or something.
If anybody knows me personally.
Maybe you shouldn't even say you know how, because then you might get accused. No, he said on Box of Chocolates he knows how to cheat.
I got the footage right here.
Yeah, he got the footage.
If anybody knows me personally, it's like, I'm not tech savvy. I'm not at all.
Sure, right.
So I don't know how to install software. I mean, obviously I could download Google Chrome. I could download whatever. I could download basic software. I could download iTunes, right?
Right, okay.
But if you're going to tell me how to install cheats, I'm going to be lost. I don't know what the C drive, E drive is. I don't know.
That's when it gets crazy, bro.
To extract from WinRAR, I don't know how to do all that.
I don't even know what that is.
Separate folders, so.
Separate folders.
Like, I'm being real. Like, I don't know.
It gets complicated. Yeah. Cheating is complicated until you master it.
And a lot of people in the road company scene know I don't cheat because before I got my brand new PC, my old PC wasn't that great, so I had a lot of issues to work out the streaming.
You can't even boot up and play, guys. So he's struggling.
So I would have people help me out, and then they'll be like, "Oh, it's easy, just
he needs help.
Extract the files and clean them and verify." I'm like, "How do you verify files?"
Verify what?
Yeah, they'll tell me verify your road company game. I'm like, "How do you do that?"
It's just properties, right-click properties.
It's like right-click in the Epic Game Store, and it's really weird. I was like, okay.
They're teaching you shit.
But pretty much it's basic stuff.
So these are probably kids, right?
No. It's actually a lot of...
Maybe you're one of the older ones.
It's a lot of people over 21. It's a lot of people over 21.
Okay, that's...
Like 21 over.
That feels new from when, we were... I know this...
When there's new players, they do get mad at me. They're like, I just lost to a 40-year-old. I'm like, yeah, you did.
Yeah, this is the part...
I tell people I'm 40 sometimes just to piss them off.
I would say as far as professional gaming goes... I mean, I'm not involved in this, but it's age bracket wise.
Oh, my age is definitely old.
We're
old.
We're like the old heads.
Old,
yeah, like as far as anybody who's involved in, or cares in the gaming community. We're old. Still, you're old.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm definitely old when it comes to like
I remember when Envious was playing Halo. Like you remember T squared on the Dr. Pepper bottle. Like you were there. You were little.
Which is really cool because now because of Road Company, I don't know if you guys remember Flame Sword. He knows me now.
Flame Sword is he played for Optic Gaming, who's very famous brand.
He lived in the house and everything. He's super cool.
Halo Pro.
Nate Shot. He always he's part of the family. He's still part of the family. And to have somebody like him know me now,
notoriety.
That's Gio. Like he knows me. So because of Road Company, the game I play. So it's crazy because obviously he's up there in age. He's still really good at the game. I mean,
he's older than us.
Road Company, he's good, but he's not better than me. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, right.
He's good. He's not bad.
Right. He's a competent player.
Yeah.
When you're a pro at as far as video games go, if you're a pro in any kind of shooter, you're gonna translate to at least a competent level in any. Oh yeah. You're not gonna be a Halo pro and be the worst COD player of all time.
It's like Ninja. Ninja's older than me. I think he's your age or a little bit. No, I think he's 29. He's 29.
Yeah, he's around.
He's 29. And he still competes in that Valorant game. And I heard that last week or 2 weeks ago, he beat the FaZe Clan's team in a tournament, which was news because not because of his age, but because Ninja's not even on the team. He plays with his set of group of guys.
He's just fucking good.
Yeah, he exactly. He's always been playing professionally since Halo 2 or 3.
It's fame, but it's also fame driven by skill. He's not garbage. This is not. I think what they say about he's not a hot woman. He's not famous because he's a hot woman, right? I mean, this is he has blue hair. He's a little skinny guy. He's a fucking video gamer.
Yeah.
This is what he does.
He knows how to entertain. Yeah. I mean, I think it's true what they say about if you play professionally at a game. I think trying to play professionally other games doesn't bother you as much because when you play at a high level in anything, you just think differently than most people do. So it's not like you could just pick up a game and shoot people. No, it doesn't work like that. It's just the positioning, the situation,
in-game awareness,
the fight you take. It's all about awareness. This is why Fab is always really good at shooters, because he doesn't just run and gun. He literally just takes his approach to the fights is different. So,
and is there anybody more like we joked about this earlier, like in the beginning of the podcast, where like you won't get a text message from him. This is serious. He will not text you for months. I'm talking like me, you, and Fabian. Like, I feel really close to you guys. I mean, we've been playing together for over a decade, talking. I mean, you're here in my apartment right now talking. That's proof that we're close. Yeah. Anyways, like, this is who I consider one of my closest friends, for sure. And like, I can't get a text from this man. Like, but the opposite is also true. When Fab is obsessed, like, there's no like letting go. Like, he'll fucking. Dude, he gets mad when you don't want to play. He gets mad when you don't want to download the game, when you don't want to grind, when you don't want to do the research.
We're going to grind the raid. I'm like, yo, bro, my bad. I'm on my girl. He's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yes.
He's like, you're not a fucking grinder. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, dude. And then next week, nah, bro. No, I'm different. Like, next week he's different. Then the next week he's a grinder. After that, like, it's back and forth. It's crazy.
I'll be like, yo, you trying to play? He's like, I'm out with my girl. I'm like, you're not a grinder. I don't want to hear you. You're not a grinder. You're not.
And then he don't care. Whatever.
You're not about it. That's it. You're not elite. That's it.
But that's the level of obsession, kind of, that you need to have.
I mean, no, his competitive level, like, I mean, I'm very competitive, but I think the way he is competitive. Is that he takes a little bit more to heart than I do.
It's personal.
Like, okay.
It's personal.
Long story short, we were doing a game battles match in Call of Duty Ghost. Yeah. This man, I legit thought he was about to have a heart attack in his room. He was like, yo, my chest is pounding.
That's how he is.
So we lost to a two-man team. It was 2v2s. We lost to a team where they were actually bad players. But we were just playing stupid. We was not in sync. We were playing terrible. We lost to them, and he was letting loose on the mic. He's like, yo, I can't believe this. Fucking lost to trash.
Oh, my God.
And then he's like you could hear him fucking, like, he's breathing hard.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, like, I'm on my phone. Like, we're just chilling, taking a break.
I'm on my phone.
He's like, yo, my chest is about to explode. I was like, what? He was like, yo, I gotta lay down, bro. I gotta lay down. My heart. I was like, what the fuck, you good? He was like, yo, shut up.
Yo, shut up. That's crazy.
So that's how serious he took it. I mean, I take losing to a different level too. I get upset, and I don't like to get complacent too much. Like, sometimes we're doing like scrims, we beat like top teams or like in real company there's only like top 2 teams right now, right?
Yeah, complacency is the enemy of advancement.
Yeah.
Go on.
So, the second best team in the World Company route, right? By the way, these teams are only really good because they've been playing together since the game came out. Sure. It's not like they've been splitting like all of us. We've been
right. Which is a struggle, right?
Which is, it's annoying. So, because everybody looks at it weird. Everybody thinks if you don't have success the first night, it's over. Like, you're not going to win. Right. But that these two teams that have been playing together, they've been playing together. Well, some of them have been playing together since the alpha days, which I wasn't involved in because I didn't even know about this game until like July. So.
And before that, it was Fortnite.
Yeah, I was playing Fortnite.
Good though.
Very stressful game.
You're good.
Very stressful game.
You're
the
good.
game has a lot of RNG to it. And it's very stressful. Yeah. It's not fun landing at Pleasant Park and then opening a chest for a fishing rod. Meanwhile, the guy above me finds a shotgun. There goes my tournament.
That's the RNG means basically, what is it? Random number generator.
Yeah. So it pretty much means luck.
It means
translates to luck. So
boom. There we go.
It's like you going to the lotto. Yep. I mean, you go to the casino. And
the roulette.
You put $10 on green, right?
Yeah.
What are the odds you hit green? So
we don't know.
Shout outs to Dice. He likes to go to the casino. I've seen that man lose his soul in the casino. Tough times.
I've never seen him lose his soul, but because we were playing online. I'm sure you know we were playing online poker for a little bit.
Oh yeah, he told me.
Dice is. All I'm gonna say is I'm not gonna put any personal finances out there because that's not good. That's not.
You win some.
Dice is my actual friend, but I've seen him take some L's and shocking L's. That's all I'm saying.
He's the type that you win some, but you lose more. That's how he goes. That's how it goes. So, I mean,
bold though, right? What a bold man.
He gets a lot of money, so
he goes where no man has gone before.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? There's honor in that.
I witnessed this one dude. If you know the name Baccarat, the game Baccarat.
Baccarat. I don't know how to play it, but I know what it is. I've heard of it. No, stop there. I've heard of it.
It's an Asian game.
Sure.
It's a Middle Eastern game. I really like it. It's just the banker versus the player type of thing, and the higher number between the hand wins.
Okay.
It's really easy to get past once you learn it, but I got addicted to it. When I lost my job, I actually was making good money off of that, going to the casino. Until I started losing, then I stopped. I was like, you know what? I don't need to be losing
I'm fucking
anymore.
losing, yeah.
That's it. I don't like to keep losing.
Sure.
And bury a hole. Dice. That wasn't dice. It was this one guy. He went to the casino with me one time. I witnessed this man lose 1,400 in two hands of baccarat. He put 1,000 on one hand and then 400 on one hand. I was like,
you know what's crazy is that's light work to millionaires.
That's light work because we're not in Vegas. We're not in Vegas. So.
It's not light work to me, but light work to other people.
Oh no, but when he lost that second hand, he was walking around the whole room. He looked like he was about to have a panic attack. And
he's probably like, I'm letting it all ride on this one. All his hopes and dreams.
I just can't imagine the look on your face when you got to go back home to whoever you need to talk to and tell them what you just did. Because gambling is a real addiction. So, it's tough. I don't know. Well, we're in tough times right now. Shout outs to COVID.
Even tougher times than normal. Only $600 they're gonna give us this time, Gio.
I'm still getting unemployment. That sucks, but take what you get. It's either you get unemployment or you work in a retail spot.
We'll take what we can get, but they can do better.
Yeah,
surely they can do better.
Trump $2,000 that could be kind of nice. That
you got the MAGA hat on. My boy had the MAGA hat on after that.
If they would have approved his $2,000 deal, I would have been like, what's up, bro?
Here with the MAGA. Well, you're from New York. Trump Tower. You can go there and you'll fight the anti-Trump protesters on his behalf.
Nah, they wouldn't fight me because we're all getting $2,000.
Well, you're saying that your money buys allegiance.
So yeah,
it does.
Yeah,
it does.
Oh, everybody does.
No, dude, I heard
this is why celebrities vote for Trump.
That's where I'm gonna take
dude.
I'm talking beaners,
bro. I don't know what's their reasoning. I don't know.
Well, I'm saying beaners.
There's a whole Instagram page, Latinos for Trump. Who?
Well, here's he
literally wants to throw you south of the border. I don't get it.
Whoever, yeah, okay. So now you get who we're talking about here. Beaners, people who their status is questionable.
Yeah.
The super Mexican.
They can't even work an actual job. They have to work
the super Mexican, the super Hispanic.
Off the books type of
really
job.
It's for Mexicans. I'm talking about I saw beaners yo, Trump is gonna do what? Oh no, in MAGA. All good. $2,000, dude, buys. People can be bought. I can be bought.
Oh yeah.
If I'm being honest with you.
I already know I can be bought. I've held more money in my hand than worth my whole life. I literally held 2 small bags. I can't relate anything here.
Working
2
for
small
who?
bags for Brinks.
Fuck Brinks.
Shout outs to Brinks.
No shout. Yeah, shout outs in a bad way. Bad shout outs.
Terrible company.
Terrible company.
They're just like a fucking overlord.
The pants never fit right. Let's be honest. Every time you see a Brinks driver, do the pants ever fit right? No. The Hey, you wanted a large, they gave you a double XL. It's just always shit like
baggy
that. It's always a problem. Baggy shirt.
What do I look like? Baggy shirt.
Baggy pants.
What is this? 2000?
You got?
I don't know. What am I in a music video of a fucking Soldier Boy? Fuck. I don't even know baggy shirt, baggy
Brinks.
jeans.
But we don't fuck with Brinks.
I don't fuck with Brinks, nah.
I'm on your side, man. We don't fuck with Brinks.
I did experience certain things that I would never have experienced.
Sure. You got life experience.
Not a lot of people in this room could say that they held $3.4 million in their hands.
In this room?
Anybody I know.
There's only 3 people in this room right now. Bro, not a lot of people in this room? In this world.
Well,
in the world.
Yeah, I literally legit held $3.4 million in my hand. The 2 bags, the size of the screen.
Did it make you feel numb?
Made me feel useless.
Numb with power?
I felt useless.
I could see that. Numb.
I was like,
yeah, a little bit.
I was like, if I was kidnapped, and they told my parents yo, $3.4 million for Gio.
You'll be done. You'll be dead.
There's no way they're gonna come up with that money. It's over.
It's over.
It's what? I'm looking at everything in my hand. I'm like, wow. So this is what it feels like to have the power, but I just
you'd have to be genius level intellect to pull off a heist at that point.
Oh yeah. There was a girl that got fired a week before I got hired.
For what?
She walked out of the base with $100,000 in her like bra panties. Keep in mind that there's like a camera within every 5 inches on the
Every
roof.
5 inches?
No, like I am not exaggerating.
Every 5 inches.
It is literally whole, all cameras. All cameras. I when I first took the tour of the base, I was like, yo,
now let me
you can't even scratch your ass. They will literally see you scratch
you
your buns.
scratch your ass and you touch the money. You're fired.
No.
The money smells like doo-doo now. Okay. But seriously though, like now here's the part where I wanna, because you were telling me shit about this, about how their trucks were ass.
Oh.
AC don't work.
I still got the evidence.
He still got the evidence.
Yeah,
He still got the evidence. We have the box of chocolates. You heard it here first.
Oh,
we
yes.
got a reveals.
I brought it up with HR, and HR ditched me because HR is also part of the company.
Tell it to the camera.
Yeah, I'm looking right at you.
Brinks.
I'm looking right at you.
Talking to you, Brinks.
Brooklyn Brinks, I see you.
Damn.
The biggest base. But trucks were very high. So my route specifically dealt with Midtown, which was middle of Manhattan, Central Park, Fifth Avenue, all the high-end tourist places, rich celebrities.
I walked down Fifth Avenue. Couldn't afford a thing.
Not wrong. So, like, that was my area, and you know how shit do you feel when your truck shuts down in the middle of Times Square?
Because that's like, all right, for those
And
of you
then
who
I
haven't
had
been
to
in
call
New
the
York,
base and be like, so my truck is not turning on. Oh, what do you want me to do about it? Oh, what do you mean? Well, am I going to stay here all night with these $10,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars in my just left to
in your
deliver?
possession, yeah.
So they would be like, oh, we're going to send out a mechanic to you.
Sure.
1 hour later, 2 hours later,
Fuck.
3 hours later.
Was that overtime though? At least.
I mean, yeah, but
Still a pain in the ass.
Fun fact:
Fun
if you
fact.
go 10 hours over overtime, you don't get paid overtime no more. You get paid straight pay.
That's the federal law or something.
That was the Brinks law. I don't think that I was.
Brinks writes the laws. This is a
I
conspiracy.
legit to this day don't think that is allowed in the state of New York. So, I'm being real. I gained so much weight on that job because of the hours. It was unhealthy.
You would think that you would lose weight from working, but that's not true. That's not fucking
I was
true.
on the truck all day.
Opposite
the truck
effect.
has no windows, by the way. There's no reeling down, press down. It is literally a locked window, bulletproof. You can't even punch your way out the window. It's literally actually
You'll
very
die.
hard. Yeah, you'll break your hand. By the time
If the Brinks truck was an escape room, you'll be dead. You'll never
Pretty
figure
much,
out how
yeah.
to leave.
So the two biggest issues with the trucks was that it would constantly shut down and the AC would break. And if the AC breaks,
AC,
it is one
air
of the biggest
conditioning.
one of the biggest hazards on the job. Because,
This is America.
Like I told you, there's no windows. You can't reel nothing down. So we're in the middle of summer when it's like 90 degrees and there's no AC. I'm dying. I was dying. There was plenty of times where I stood out the truck with the door like holding the door, and I would get in trouble for it. And I tell them, "What do you want me to do?" Because in the handbook, it says if the AC is not working, I am liable and have all right to take the truck back to the base. But I'm not going to do that when it's 11 a.m. and I still have 34 stops on my route left, and I still have like 600,000 cash.
You guys are feeling like ATMs. That's pretty much the main.
No,
That's what the money's for.
I never dealt with ATMs.
Okay.
Never. That was actually a different There's a bunch of different.
What is the
routes.
money for? Do they tell you that?
My money
To an extent at all?
My money, because I went to all the stops. I knew all the stops.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to blow your minds out real quick. One of my favorite stops.
Yeah.
Every Thursday, St. Patrick's Cathedral.
That sounds nice.
And let me tell you, I never looked at the business. I never looked at the church as a business until I went to St. Patrick's. Every Thursday, they will always give us 1 million cash. 1 million cash, and no, this is what blew my mind.
The church is giving you cash.
The back room,
Sure.
way more cash. At least
The back room of what?
The back room, they actually have like a dungeon.
St. Patrick's?
I'm not kidding when I'm saying there's a dungeon. There's literally a fucking underground where there's a secret elevator. I did record it one time, but my partner said delete it because you could get in big trouble for that.
Okay.
I was like, fuck. But it was very cool to see. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but in New York, when you go to stores and stuff on the avenues, you see like those metal doors on the floor, and
Sure.
you can lift them up, and you
Sure.
go. There's like steps, right?
I can imagine it, but I
So
haven't
it-
noticed. I've
so-
never noticed. I can imagine. Though.
It's hard. Pretty much like there's these metal doors on the floor.
Meant to be discreet.
Nobody pays attention because in New York these things are everywhere. They pretty much means that there are steps to the basement of the store, right?
Okay.
So St. Patrick's, they have that everywhere, but one of them is not even steps. One of them, those metal doors, is a cover to an elevator. Literally, the elevator goes above ground and it brings you underground. And that underground is where like the dungeon I'm saying, like where they keep all the cash.
The dungeon.
They keep cash, millions and millions of dollars, and I'm talking about they probably make over $1 million every day. Like I'm not even kidding. Donations.
Saint who?
St. Patrick's. That's the most famous church in the world.
I mean, just tell you know what a saint is.
That's on Fifth Avenue.
What is a saint? Somebody who's just
Saint
like a
Patrick's?
pure motherfucker.
I don't know. Some motherfucker that made it in the book.
A saint is pure. What St. Patrick need millions of dollars for?
He could do no wrong. He was
Right. A saint.
a good friend of God or something. But I mean, I don't know. If you're appointed a saint, then you must have done something right. But like
Or it's political.
St. Patrick's
But go on.
Cathedral
Yeah.
is right next to Rockefeller Center.
Mm-hmm.
It is that humongous church you see. The doors are bulletproof. Not that much people knew that. I found that out when I was working. I was like, yo, your doors are bulletproof? Like, yo, you guys are souped up in this. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they had shotguns in the dungeon, like, at this point. Because I was like, why are your bullets, like, your door is bulletproof? The windows are bulletproof also. They make so much money from donations because they have tourists and people every day, whatever.
Tourists donating, man. Tourists donating.
Yeah,
money.
like, people come around the world.
Religious tourists donating money.
It's like us going to Rome and throwing
Sure.
money in the fountain or whatever they have over there. So like, because it's like an ancient thing, whatever.
Ancient thing. America is like 400 years old. Ancient thing, but I know what you mean. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
One fun thing
I'm making
about-
fun of America. Go on.
One fun thing about the money they give us, they never gave it us in a bag. It was actually in like those cloth bags that you see in the cartoons, robbers. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
It was literally like that. They'll give us bags of coins, which will be like $10,000 in coins.
The fuck.
So yeah,
Big business.
this is how much power St. Patrick's has with Brinks. If at any point during the week, we only go there Thursdays, but if at any point they need to be serviced on a Wednesday or on a Friday, if they call us, we have to go. We had to stop what we're doing, literally, and go straight to them,
To the church?
to the church. That's how much power they have. I don't know how much they pay Brinks, but they're one of the most valuable accounts that Brinks has, St. Patrick's. If they lose that account, they lose a lot of money, and they're going to be hit hard.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Chase. Chase is definitely, obviously, one of the biggest banks in the world.
Yeah, right.
Chase actually cut down on the ATMs with Brinks. They said, we're still going to deal with you guys, but we don't want you guys doing our ATMs. We're going to have our own employees do it. My girlfriend at the time worked for Chase, and she used to do the ATMs. And she hated it. She was like, that's the worst thing. It's really annoying, whatever. So Chase actually saves money with Brinks
By doing it in-house.
by doing it by themselves. Because with Brinks, they had to pay employees a lot. So Brinks still does ATMs, but not for Chase. They do it for like Bank of America, I don't know, all the other banks, you know, Capital One, whatever. Which is weird because like I was like, bro, like all this money, like where does the money go? So much money, right? And all this money, but we can't get new trucks. We can't get new trucks.
Where does the money go?
Our
You
new-
know where the money goes.
Well,
Who's the CEO
our
of Brinks?
trucks.
Who owns
Yeah,
Brinks?
Yeah, he's in Texas, living in his mansion. So,
That's where the money goes. They can't give
Fun
my
fact-
boy
fun
Gio
fact-
AC.
fun fact: each of our trucks costs $400,000,
But no working AC.
No working AC. Yeah. I actually got to ride in the 2020 or the 2019 trucks, which were the newer models. They were really good, and then they took it away from me because
You're right.
because
for a little
they,
bit.
they gave me the best excuse in the world. They said, "Oh, Bank of America physically paid for these trucks, so we're gonna designate these trucks to Bank of America stops only." I'm like, what? But apparently that was kind of true.
That's how things go sideways.
So-
because now when the AC's broke, they want to get the money
Exactly.
from Bank of
The
America
AC
instead of Brink.
Listen, the AC in that truck was biblical. Like it
Like
literally,
good, biblically good.
you know how long these trucks are and how like much space is in there.
I
There's actually a
don't.
lot of space in these trucks.
I don't, but
that truck
I'm
specifically,
imagining.
I had my own table to eat lunch. I had
Damn.
an own table in there.
That's
like,
big.
Literally, bro, it was like that. It was like a countertop.
There's a countertop.
It was almost like an RV. And I was like, bro, I never want to leave this truck. This
It
truck
seems
is heavy.
small.
No, not that truck.
I'm thinking of like the cartoons or something.
No,
Movies or something.
no, these trucks are tanks.
Like it's like a short bus.
Tanks.
Tanks, okay.
So
You're driving a tank.
no, it's literally tanks. You would kill people.
Don't fit
Like
that
you would
with
literally kill people if you hit them. So, I was like impressed, and then they took it away from me because whatever. My stops
For scheduling reasons, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
probably. We don't know.
I had
Brinks.
I had one day on the job where I had adrenaline. I had adrenaline. My bro. I felt like I felt like a wannabe cop. Like I felt like you're a cop. Like people want to shoot you.
Okay.
So there was one day, right? I think this was my first week in. I was working a Saturday, which is like a shorter shift in a way. In a way, it depends on how your day goes. My supervisor was going to go on the ride with us. She was going to actually work, like not stay at the base and do a paperwork bullshit.
Sure. She's going to ride. She's doing a ride along.
Yeah. So
getting her hands dirty with the wrist.
So she told me, she threw a vest at me. She was like, yo, pull on this bulletproof vest. I'm like, what? What we doing? And then she was like, I'm going to need you to wear this because I'm going to be your escort. I was like, what am I escorting? You know what I'm saying? And then she was like,
little boys to the Catholic Church. It's like St. Patrick's. All right, go on.
She's like,
Brinks, traffics, and little boys.
She pretty much was like, you're going to be carrying more money than you even know what you're worth. Like, I was like, okay, cool. So, first stop was
look at Gio playing it all cool. Okay, cool.
First stop was very sketchy. It was in the middle of a parking lot, a broken down parking lot that nobody like. This is weird. So this is the crazy part about New York City. There's a lot of underground shit. You don't know what's happening. So this was definitely an underground shit because we went to a parking lot. We were supposed to receive money from like a like a laundry business.
Okay.
But it's weird because what kind of laundry business has $125,000 in coins?
None that I know. That I know.
We had to receive $125,000 of bags of coins. And I was like,
that's a lot of bags.
We asked the guy. I was like,
seems like a lot of bags.
My supervisor asked the guy because we were very skeptic about where he got this money from. We said, how do you have this much coins in bags? He said that somebody owed him money.
So this is just a fucking guy?
So I was like,
who's the guy?
Some Asian guy. But I'm telling you,
out of nowhere. Came out of the shadow of the night.
There was like a broken down parking lot.
Okay.
It looked deserted. But there was definitely business going on in the background of those things. We just couldn't go through those doors. But it was very weird how...
But you're from New York. Where was it?
It was in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn? Okay. Yeah. Well, I guess that kind of...
It was in a part of Brooklyn where I don't really go to, so I'm not familiar with the area. Okay, gotcha, but it was definitely broken down, graffiti everywhere. It looked like shit wasn't used for 20 years. That type of thing. Like a rush hour moment where you're like, whoa.
Rush hour moment. Okay.
You're like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, so they would have kidnapped, So... We took all the bags in the truck, and then we had this black dude coming in the parking lot, right? And he looked weird, like he was moving funny. He was looking at us. He was like this, like looking at the truck.
You work for Brinks?
Yeah.
What's so sketchy? Maybe he's just curious.
No, he was looking at the money. He saw us putting the money in the truck, and then he was looking funny, and then he dropped a shopping cart. Reminder, we're in a broken down parking lot. Like it looks deserted. Sure. So you come in the parking lot with a shopping cart with nothing in it, and you just drop it in the corner. And then he's looking at us, walking back. He leaves. And then my supervisor and my other supervisor, both of them are carrying, obviously. They're like, they take note. Like, yo, that dude was weird. Whatever. He came back like 10 minutes later when we were about to finish, throwing the bags. And then he starts like just looking close. And then my supervisor, she's a woman, she was like, yo, you good? And she straight up said, yo, you good?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm good. What you going to do about it?
Let me tell you. All right, let me please stop. Nowhere in the world are people as rude as New York City. I think you kind of get it by now. But like asking you good, like that should be like a wholesome question. Like, hey, are you okay? But it's it's like a beef.
I'm good could be either a compliment or a threat. It's literally how it works.
Yo, you good?
Yeah, like that could be a threat. That's literally a threat back home.
Yeah.
Like if I pull up to the deli and I see a dude right next to me, I'm like, yo, you good? He's gonna be like, what's up? He's gonna be like, what's up? Like, right. It's a problem. But so she said, like he said, yeah, I'm good. And then they started going at it, and he was like, "What you gonna do? Shoot me?" And she dead ass said, "I'll fucking shoot you. I don't give a fuck." Like she should have told him. So he got all crazy. He took out his phone. He's like, "Yo, fuck these Brinks niggas,
like, Brinks,
whatever." Like,
yeah.
and then he started saying crazy shit, whatever. The girl, my supervisor, was like, "You all talk, you nothing."
This is Brinks.
Keep in mind, she don't fuck around. She was tatted the fuck up. She looked like
Brinks
she looks like she used to be a wrestler back.
Brinks hired her on purpose because she's a hired gun.
Oh, she has
hired by Brinks.
She has military experience, so
Sure.
she used to be deployed at one point, I think. So she don't fuck around. So whatever, that dude was talking his garbage, left, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So that was one moment that I was like, oh, it's getting spicy. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a gun.
But you're low key loving it.
But it's funny because I told her on the way to the city, I was like, yo, if something would have went down, fuck am I gonna do? I don't got no fucking gun.
Get inside the truck.
Literally get inside the truck, protect the money. But
it's a fucking good old fashioned Dukes, bro.
But that was one thing they told us in
Dukes.
training, in the quote unquote training they gave us, which wasn't even training, was that
like orientation. They talked to you.
If my partner was getting assaulted or at gunpoint outside of the truck, I had to leave him. I had to literally drive away. I was like, wow. So, it sucks because what if I develop a relationship like with you? Like, say we're partners on a job.
Dude, I would be so hurt if you left me. I'd be like, Gio, what the fuck? I'd be like, oh, shit.
But that's what we're told.
Gio's driving off in the truck.
They said, we don't care if they're your friend. You got to go.
Oh.
You know why? Because all that matters is the money in the car, in the truck. That's all that matters.
And how much are you getting paid, if you don't mind me asking? That Brinks.
I was getting paid $17.50 an hour, right?
To leave your friend. Would you
not
leave your
good,
friend for
not good pay, but it felt good because I was working 70 hours a week. So
Sure.
I got paid weekly. So I was getting like a K a week, whatever. Right. But obviously, you're not getting paid $300,000 in a fucking hour to leave your boy.
Can we just stop 70 hours a week?
Yeah, which is why I gained so much weight. On top of constantly just being on work, not that much sleep, and then getting free food. That was one of the only perks on the job.
How many hours in a week? 128?
In a week?
In a week.
Oh, I don't know.
If you're working 70, I think there's like 120.
So this is pretty much, I could round it out the day.
24, 40.
All my shifts started at 6 a.m. I had to literally be in the truck, out the base by 6:15. Everything was loaded, I had to be out 6:15. And this is with no truck issues. If we had truck issues, we were not leaving until like
what if you were late? You were late?
If you're late, if you're late, nothing really happened to you. They'll keep note of it, but
they'll just be like, you're late.
Well, the only person that will actually be mad at you will be a partner, because my partner, whose also name was Gio, by the way, shout out to Gio. Mm-hmm. He will be the one counting the money. He's the one that scans everything, making sure it's going to check database, and then he loads the truck.
Yeah.
So if you're the driver and you're not in the base at all, like you don't have the truck backed up to the loading dock, to your specific messenger, that's what we called your partner, and they couldn't do any of that because you weren't there, they'll be the only ones actually mad at you. The managers wouldn't even care that much. Mm-hmm. As long as you go,
they're waiting for you. Like, come on.
The managers never cared. As long as you went and do your job, they don't give a fuck how late you come back.
Sure.
They don't care how much you ran the clock out today. And there was people that specifically worked like 17-hour shifts on purpose. On purpose. They were milkers. There was literally a term called milkers. Like, those people in that job where I was like, you're a milker. Oh, I'm not a milker. I'm like, I know you're a milker. Because I work in Midtown, you work in downtown. We're both working Manhattan, but I work in a more crowded area than you.
Right.
And you're getting here after me makes no sense. Like, and you're closer to the base because downtown Manhattan is closer to Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. So, like, the bridge goes right there. So, working that job was just like, yeah. The perks were nice. I was getting Wendy's, Five Guys. I was getting high-end food for free. Boom. There's a famous taco spot in Manhattan. It's called I think it's called Los Tacos #1. Mm-hmm. Very expensive tacos.
Los Tacos.
They're like $3.50 each a taco. But low key,
come on.
Low key, they're really good.
You gotta stun me with that $3.50 per taco. I don't know what to make of that.
It's like $3.50, like almost $4 a taco. It's a lot. It's very pricey.
That is expensive for a taco.
Pricey.
Right.
So, I used to get those tacos free every Friday. Free. Boom. 3 tacos and a Mexican Coke.
By perks of working at Brinks.
Yeah, because we used to service them. So the manager was cool with us, and he'll be like, yo, he'll be like, yo, my dad says tacos. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, what? Give me the Coke too. Yo, give me the Coca-Cola, man. I'm like, yo. And so I got a lot of free food. Central Park, we used to service them. Actually, a lot of people don't know that we used to go to Central Park.
Right, like it's a fucking park. Like, what is Brinks doing in a park?
I mean, look at Central Park on the map. It's a massive park. It is literally like 80 plus blocks deep.
Right.
It's very massive.
And this is where it choices me. Like, Central Park, what did they need to do? Brinks. And
there's actually a bunch of stuff in Central Park. There's There's canoeing.
Sure.
There is.
But do they need Brinks?
A boathouse.
Okay. Boathouse might need Brinks.
There's actually an amusement park, which I never knew until when I worked in Brinks.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually where we used to go. We used to go to the amusement park to get their money.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a little mini Six Flags in there, like a lot of crazy stuff. There's more stuff. It's like I think there's an ice. Like now, I think there's an ice skating rink in Central Park.
We're gonna write down something that we're gonna talk about later.
So I was like, impressed. So we used to. I found out the secret entrance to a Central Park entrance where I used to go pick up the money. One of my favorite parts of the job definitely was having a siren on the car. It was very fire.
Those little 1930s sirens, a little red thing.
No.
Woo! Okay.
Like, woo! I'm like, yo, I had the power. And it's funny because I remember one time Fabian was working in Manhattan because United Nations. I regret to this day forever working that week. That my partner always took a week off every year. And it was only during the United Nations. You'll never take a lot of vacation, nothing. It was for United Nations because Manhattan was a complete shit show.
Mm-hmm.
Bridges were locked down. Streets were closed. Main streets, I'm talking about big ass streets were closed.
Right.
Because
anti-terrorism.
Yeah, because you have prime ministers, you have presidents, you have a bunch of people.
New York City, Twin Towers, people want to make a name for themselves that are enemies of America. So yeah, but we don't stand for that.
You have pretty much the most powerful people in the world,
right?
And within a 5-block radius, everything gets shut the fuck down. Trump Tower is heavily guarded because he's our president.
He's the fucking president. Exactly. MAGA. $2,000. Go on.
Fun fact: NYPD doesn't like CIA. They actually don't like each other.
Because CIA
looks down at them. They looks down at them. So I used to love seeing the cops look at them. I used to love seeing the cops hey, get the fuck out of here. They want
well, here's a little bit of. I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna talk. I'm just talking. These are just words. When you hear about these stories of police treating people like shit because they have a badge, there's no greater badge than the CIA. I mean, Jesus Christ. So maybe that's a little bit of a taste of your own medicine. I'm going to talk. I have a friend who's a cop. I'm not going to say no names. His perspective was, I swear to God, most of the people in this building are racist. Think about that. Most of the people in this building are racist. To hear a cop say that, that can't be comforting. It wasn't comforting to me. Wasn't comforting to him. He's a minority. But, he blends in. He looks a certain way. So, you can handle the CIA telling you where to go for a little bit. You're going to be okay. Are they beating you up? Are they doing to you what you're doing to regular people sometimes? Sometimes. No, you can handle a little bit of verbal, hey, they probably call them rent-a-cops. To them, they probably say a little verbal.
They'll be yo, peasant, watch that corner.
They're going to be okay. At the end of the day, you're fine, police officers.
I think one of the main issues with cops is that most of these cops are built into that. They're born into that life, and I'm talking about.
Let me take a pee real quick. That's a good place for us to segue. I got this real fast.
Imagine peeing. Couldn't be me.
Talk about whatever you want. All right. So last we left, you said most of them are. You said they're born into it. They're born into their career field.
Yeah. So one big issue what I have with New York City jobs. I think this correlates to a lot of jobs around the country, where I take a city exam for NYPD,
right?
And the only bonus points I get is for living in the city, which is a +5. But if you have a
Which you all get the +5.
Yeah.
You all live in New York.
But-
it's a big place. Go on. Go on.
If you have a family member, brother, sister, father, who is a cop or anything in that field, you get a +10 on top of your +5.
Anything in the field. So cop, military.
No, military.
Firefighter.
Military is another option where you get a +10.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got military and you got a brother, sister, mother who was a cop or a firefighter, where you get like +25.
And by the way, my thoughts are my own, but you know, I've considered like moving to New York City and becoming a cop.
I'm not a fan because
Right,
let me tell you something.
I understand.
Obviously, I wasn't born into that, but you gotta understand most of these people that my dad was a cop and I'm a cop.
Right.
Like
and my grandfather before he, and then it keeps
so
going
like
on.
they're already like put into like they already have like this notion, this character of them. Like that's why some of these cops actually turn out to be
Right, like I'm a junior in high school and I'm a cop already.
Yeah, that's why some of these cops end up on camera doing the shit that they do because they don't give a fuck.
Because they've been a cop since they were 12 years old in their own minds, and now they're fucking
all they care about is power,
asserting
dominance.
Yeah,
I love that term, by the way. I use that shit in gaming all the time.
Okay.
There's no letting up. You want to assert dominance. That's what these motherfuckers do in real life, and they get caught for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm gonna tell you why I'm not a fan of this point system because I took that NYPD test prior. First, I took it twice. First time I got an 87. 87 out of 100.
That's what I wanted you to
That
say.
is terrible.
That's terrible.
Because, like I told you, a lot of people get +10, +10, +5.
So you're saying people get hundreds?
Yeah. No, people get over 100 because you get those +10, +10, +5.
Shit.
So imagine you got 100 score, perfect exam, and then you have your mom
10, 10,
as a
5.
cop, and you were a veteran. You did your 2 years.
You
of
got
Air Force.
125 somehow.
So I'm not a fan because I took the fire department test early last year.
Mm-hmm.
I scored without the +5. I scored a 97. So I was only off by one question. And I went to the meeting with a captain, and he straight up told me, "I'm sorry, son, but we're not gonna be able to enlist you because you don't have 100 score." Straight up. And I was like, he said, "Yeah, we're gonna stop the enlistment and recruitment at 100 because so many people got 100."
So if you don't even have 100, like that's it.
No, yeah, that's it. So many people scored 100 over me, but
100 plus,
but had less questions answered correctly than me because they got the +15, +20, not me. I only got a +5. So I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy. So actually, he was gonna refer me to the cadet program, which they were opening up. He said because of my score, I could get in. But obviously, COVID fucking ruined that whole thing.
Man.
The cadet program would have been really nice because I got well taught on the subject of the cadets. You pretty much you work like an intern, right? You just paid position.
Sure.
You work intern at the fire departments or in the Brooklyn fire bases, and then one Saturday out of the month. Every 2 Saturdays out of the month, you were gonna go to the firefighter academy and actually physically train with them, with the actual recruits.
Sure.
So I thought that was really good because obviously
you're there with them.
You're actually training. You're actually doing what the fuck they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, firefighter training is no joke. You'll get your fucking ass beat.
Mm-hmm.
I think the police training is a joke because I
I
kind of been through it. Like I was in the academy.
Working out.
I wasn't at the academy,
right.
but I did the JST, which is the physical test they give you to see if you're qualified. And let me tell you, that shit was a joke.
Well, let me say this right now. I'll take it a step further for you. There's a lot of people who say you can't survive Marine boot camp. You can fucking survive. The enlisted military force is 99% high school graduates, 18-year-olds, like, and you just work out for a couple of weeks. Like, if you don't think you could survive military boot camp, police department, whatever they call it, like, you work out, you're gonna be fucking fine. Like, don't let the hype get to you. Like, you're gonna be fucking fine.
Yeah, it's
not what they want to make it seem like. Anybody who's been through the whole thing, know it's easy as fuck.
As long as you're not a bitch, that's it.
There we go.
If you're a crybaby,
see, I wasn't even gonna say all. I wasn't even gonna say all that, but he said it for me.
I know dudes that went into basic training, actually crying.
Yeah,
they're crying to go home.
And remind you, the pass rate in these military camps is like 99%. So you're talking about the 1% of people who can't hack it. That's not a strong person.
Which is fine because
that's not a strong person physically or mentally.
You're never gonna get perfect.
And you're right. Maybe I shouldn't be that hard on that person, but that person is the outcast from the 99% who can make it. If a teacher gave you a test and said 99% of the people are gonna pass this fucking test, and you were the only one who didn't, wouldn't you feel like shit?
Oh yeah.
You would feel like I'm less than. So, anyways, that's what I'm saying. They're less than. Go on.
I'm off the scene.
They're less than.
But like
for separate, but reasons vary. That's little. I'll leave that open. Reasons vary.
Whatever.
Because certain things will hold you back.
I got an 87 in the first police test.
80 fucking times.
I got a 93 on my second test.
Any family relations to NYPD?
They're actually trying to recruit me again.
Any family relations to NYPD?
What?
I'm asking you. Do you have any family?
Actually, my cousin from my biological father.
But does that get you points?
Points.
Have you served in the American military?
No.
There we go.
All I get is +5.
All right.
Well, yeah, that's tough.
Well, to some extent, I'll talk about this. Like to go to like the Air Force Academy or any of like the academy, you need like the written fucking permission of like a senator or a congressman or something.
That's fire.
So at this point of the game, I mean, I don't know where you grew up. I'll talk about myself. I don't have any family connections to the senator or the congressman. Do you?
No, I wish.
There we go. Like you see what we're talking about. It's a little bit of a good old boys club. If you know somebody, you can get in.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
One thing my mom that has stuck to me in my whole life, what she's told me, is that in life, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And that couldn't be more true. And that is fucking accurate.
Very true.
Like, look at that lady that got appointed to like the Supreme Court judges that Trump appointed to. She has 1 year experience. Yeah. 1 year versus everybody else who had 20 years because she's young. Like, that's just obviously Donald Trump is also an example of like, it's also who you know, and he had money, so man became president.
Well, let's think about it this way, little. Maybe you have or have not considered this. You've seen pictures of her. I mean, you brought it up. Maybe you've at least seen a picture of the person who's now going to be a Supreme Court justice. Yeah. She doesn't look that bad.
Never know.
I'm not saying she's walking down the Victoria's Secret runway.
But I'm saying
Donald Trump possibly chose her because she doesn't look that bad.
I mean, there's a reason why she's keeping her mouth quiet.
I'm not saying she's not qualified. I'm saying maybe that gave her the +5, +10. You see? Like something gives you in life, something gives you a little extra push.
Without no credibility, like, you don't know who the person is. They need credibility.
So then, hey, if
she could be openly racist, but she's not going to say anything now. Right? Am I wrong?
If you don't have credibility, what do they go off of? If you don't know somebody, what do you go off of? Looks.
Oh, my friend's daughter.
Looks.
She's in the field, so that's good enough.
Oh yeah.
In the field of law, so that's good enough.
My friend's daughter, or she just looks good.
So yeah, like, you know. Scooping you. That's it. Scooping you. Like, yo, you free tomorrow? You trying to be on the Supreme Court?
You trying to be on the Supreme Court?
You trying to run the show for the next 50 years? You trying to exonerate people or get them fucking...
Right, she'll most likely serve until she's dead.
So, yeah, that's all their jobs. Right. Like that lady who signed the $600 stimulus, Nancy Pelosi. She said, word for word, out of her mouth. You can look up the video.
I'm listening to you.
She said... $600 is more than significant to a working family. And I said, in what fucking world?
Oh, you want to Google Nancy Pelosi? What kind of family she comes from?
Oh, I already know how much she makes a year.
Something tells me she came from a family where you didn't have to worry about that much money.
She was born in the 1940s.
Okay.
Let me tell you, $600 in 1940s was like equivalent to like fucking $5K. Obviously, $5K, I would take that with open arms. But if you're going to sit here and say 600 is more than significant to a working family, hey, maybe it's significant to a single man from Alabama because everything is cheap over there.
Let me pause this. When Nancy was born, her father was a congressman. Pelosi's mother was also active in politics, organizing Democratic women and teaching her daughter the value of social networking. A family born into politics. If you're a congressman, are you hungry? Do you come from a hungry family when you're born to a congressman? I think I'm gonna take a wild stab in the dark.
She
and
probably
say no.
was like the only person, not on her block, but she definitely was one of the very few people that owned a TV when it first came out. Seriously, like, let's think about it.
Right.
Imagine going to like a party. Yeah, I got.
She had the PS5. She had in her day. She had the PS5.
I had a colored television.
Early access.
I see colors on my TV.
I see colors you haven't seen yet.
You don't even see TV.
You think TV? You think life is black and white? I know it's colored.
You read black and white.
Right.
You read those books. You see Gone with the Wind in the book. So
I'm watching that shit on TV.
I'm watching that shit 3 hours.
You had to dream about it. I saw the movie.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. You wish you could sleep in my bed.
And she's telling you $600 is enough.
And her salary is like $223,000 a year.
Which is nothing because is
nothing.
Let me tell you why it's nothing. Let me
Yeah,
tell you. I'm going to tell you why it's nothing because every politician kills it in the private sector. Stocks has nothing to do with the government salary. That's them placing bets on the economy.
And they usually get the inside info also. Yes.
And they get the inside info.
You think Donald Trump lost stocks during the COVID?
No. He knows what's up.
He invested in the right things apparently. So he didn't lose that much money on stocks. Meanwhile, people lost tens of thousands. But yeah, she has the audacity to be like, that's too much. And I'm over here like, why is an 80-year-old woman trying to make decisions for the future of the country?
I mean, and this is, I'm not.
We don't even know if she's going to make it 5 more years. Like, I guarantee you, when she dies, they're going to be like, yo, that's the bitch that said 600 is significant. I'm going to put 600 in her tombstone. Like, what's up?
Oh, I mean, this is the same person.
600 doesn't even cover a casket, by the way. I'm just going to
doesn't even, if you die, now your kids owe the money that you have to pay the funeral home.
They got to take your 600 and add 200 to it. It's $800 for a casket. True story.
Well, this is why this is the conspiracy. Well, not really a conspiracy. I don't consider it a conspiracy. It seems like Nancy Pelosi, who's a Democrat, didn't want to pass a second stimulus check bill, whatever the bill is, stimulus bill, right? Let's just use generic whatever, because that would give Donald Trump an edge because that's his presidency. If Donald Trump is the one giving you the second stimulus check, now he has a little bit more sway in the election, right? Like, wow, Donald Trump is really looking out. He's the one giving this, but now Joe Biden gets to be the one that's like, no, I'm giving you the stimulus check. So that's hence the poll. You know how they bullshit in Congress, like, oh, we can't make a decision just yet. Like,
yeah, he's goofy. Joe Biden.
Well, he's goofy. Yeah.
My man got fucking Alzheimer's, but he covers it up.
Not that well though.
He's lost in the sauce half the time. I mean,
this is my new commander in chief, and I support.
He doesn't have
my commander in chief.
Doesn't have a perfect pass, but I'll leave it like that.
Right, I'm just laughing because it's funny.
All these people have a crazy past. The only thing positive Donald Trump has done for the country was uncover the blanket from the country that showed how many races were still in the country. Bless you. So I always said that the country didn't become racist; they were always racist. Right? Sure.
If you thought otherwise, you were born last night.
Exactly. If you thought that the country just became racist because Donald Trump was the president, no, you're actually dumb. All he did was give those people encouragement to fucking go out there and be racist, and what you see in those videos. So it's like yesterday in the pub. Look.
All right, technical difficulties. The camera died. Anyways, that's all. So the public, do we know?
I forgot about the public. We could talk about the New Republic.
The New Republic in Star Wars?
Star Wars, baby.
Baseball.
One of the most... Before we get to baseball, just shout out to Mandalorian. Star Wars.
Grogu.
I'm very knowledgeable on a lot of timelines when it comes to comics and certain like animes and whatever series. But let me tell you that the Star Wars universe is so complex. It is very hard to remember all the timelines. There's so much things and there's so much stories about Star Wars that it's very hard to keep track of. That's why the ending of Mandalorian actually threw me off. I was like, bro, like what? Like what timeline are we in?
What happened? I'm not gonna watch it. I saw a little scene where somebody came out the elevator and he was doing this.
Bro.
Who was that? Well, first of all, we'll start from here. When does it take place? After
This takes after
the movies, the most recent movies,
the fall of the Empire. So the Empire is with
After
Darth
Rey.
Vader. No, after Darth Vader.
okay.
The Empire was when Darth Vader was with Palpatine, which is the other Sith. He was like the Sith leader. He's like the Sith god, pretty much.
Palpatine was the second Trinity, the second 3 series of movies.
No, Palpatine has been in all movies. He's actually been the leader.
Oh, you're
But
right.
in the original movies, he was never the bad guy. He was the good guy. He was the one that He was the Grand Consul, which is like Yoda, Mace Windu.
Well, I'm talking about as far as like, I'm talking when they're released. That's the second, the one early 2000s.
Yeah, he was in all the movies.
In early 2000s, he was still like regular looking.
He was in, I think, all 6 movies.
Counselor Palpatine.
Yeah,
Palpatine.
he was in all 6 movies, and then he returned in the last movie with Rey and Kylo Ren. He because, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen, Rey's actually his granddaughter.
This we knew. Well, this I knew.
Oh, you knew? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
this I knew.
That was like, interesting take. The fall of the Empire is when Darth Vader died. Palpatine died.
That's Luke.
Luke supposedly
Luke
killed him,
killed
right?
his
And then
father.
he killed the Death Star and all that stuff. Funny thing about Star Wars, right? This is how they like to keep characters on the verge
Alive,
of coming
yeah.
back. Some of them never really die. They fall off somewhere. They fall off into space, or they fall off and down like a hole. That's how you see them dying.
Okay.
So Darth Vader actually killed Palpatine. It wasn't Luke.
Okay.
The whole Star Wars universe thinks Luke killed Palpatine. No. They also think Luke killed Darth Vader. He didn't never kill Darth Vader. If you ever watch the movies, Darth Vader actually starts to get feelings for his son.
Yeah.
He is the father of Luke.
Right.
He started feeling bad about Luke because he could have killed Luke, but he was like, nah, I should kill Palpatine because Palpatine turned me into this monster.
Right.
He said, he turned me into, so I'm going to kill
Half
Palpatine.
man, half machine, basically.
He killed Palpatine and died for doing it because the reason why Palpatine made Darth Vader that suit was that because he was pretty much on life support in that suit.
This is when I have the high ground.
Yeah, he was pretty much left to die by Obi-Wan Kenobi after they fought on.
Obi got his ass.
Yeah, he caught his ass. Caught him slipping. He's like, I got the high ground.
Don't try it. He told
Don't
him.
do it, Anakin.
Yep.
He's like, you underestimate my
Yeah. You
power.
underestimate my power.
And I'm like, motherfucker.
Off with his legs.
Off with his legs.
He had his legs cut off.
So, long story short, Palpatine found him, barely alive, saved his life in exchange of you being my servant. You're going to become a Sith Lord under me. Turn him into Darth Vader. So he was in a suit that was pretty much his life support. If he didn't have that suit, he was dying. And the one weakness of that suit was electricity, which Palpatine has. He shoots electricity through his hands. So when Darth Vader killed Palpatine, he electrocuted him on the way down. So that's why Darth Vader died in the process. And then Luke was like, Father, why? And he was like, for the greater good, get the fuck out of here, Luke.
Sure.
The shit's blown up.
The shit's blown up.
So,
Shit's going crazy. All right.
So, but nobody knows about this. In the Star Wars universe, the whole galaxy thinks that Luke killed both of them. So he's like this god tier hero, which he is. He's really good.
And that's A New Hope when that happened. When he's having the showdown with his dad.
I think so.
And Palpatine.
Like I said, it's hard to remember exactly the timeline of the movies. But yeah.
This might be right. It might be wrong.
The Empire falls, right?
The Empire does fall.
After this, right?
The Empire falls.
So now, this takes place 4 to 10 years after. The Mandalorian takes 4 to 10 years after the fall of the Empire. So Luke is still kind of young, right? In the storyline. So Mando, who is the main character of the Mandalorian series, he finds little baby Yoda, who we found out is not Yoda. I mean, he could be related to Yoda, but they never confirmed it. He's just his species.
Right. It can't be Yoda because Yoda's old as fuck.
So is Grogu. He's 50 years old.
And baby Yoda is 50 years old. Okay.
Because his species is like dogs and cats.
Ages slow as shit. Opposite.
Like every 10 years, every year is a 10 year.
So they go slow as fuck.
But he's still a baby. Like he can't really communicate that well. It's hard for him to walk. But he's old because
it's hard for him to
he
walk.
could talk like telepathically through the Force and be like, yeah, like I was there. I saw Luke. Like, you know.
Shit.
So yeah,
he talked through the Force.
So in the story of the Mandalorian, the new season, the Mandalorian's goal is to bring Grogu back to the Jedi because he wields the power of the Force. There's a lot of points into the story where he uses Force ability to stop things, and then Mando doesn't understand what the hell this is because this guy was picked up by Mandalorians from the ancient culture, and they don't. I don't know if you guys know, but Mandalorians were actually arch rivals to Jedis. They were actually.
I didn't know this.
They were actually considered the only race to kill Jedis. The Jedis were always seen as the most powerful beings.
Jedi is more like a religion, right?
Yeah,
in
but
Star
like,
Wars universe.
but like,
they worship
you know,
the Force.
there's always like different like races and like groups or cults, right?
Sure.
Let's call it cults. Pretty much that the Mandalorians were always rivals to the Jedi because they actually were the only ones kind of equipped to kill Jedis. Mm-hmm. And there's a scene that kind of shows this where Ahsoka Tano, who is a very, very popular Star Wars character in the comics and in the Clone Wars.
Is that the one with the duel?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Rosario Dawson plays her, which she's beast.
Yeah.
Yo, she's beast. That episode was so fire. Everybody was talking about it like, yo.
Everybody was talking about it.
Bro, everywhere I went, I was like, yo, you saw that episode? Yo, she was going off. She had the dual lightsabers. Mm-hmm. And when she actually fought the Mandalorian in the forest because she didn't know him and he didn't know her. But he was actually hired to kill her.
Fuck. He
was actually hired by the city of like ancient things to bring the Jedi back dead or alive because she's been ruining our village. Well, she's not really ruining the village. She's actually trying to free the villagers because they're under a dictatorship. So she comes out of the woods and they start fighting. And this is the reason why the Mandalorians were always rivals to the Jedi. That lightsaber could pierce through anything in the world, in the galaxy, besides the Mandalorian armor.
I didn't see. Yo, I didn't know that until right now. That I didn't know until right now.
Very fire scene. She was like, zoom. He said, Sss. And she was like, what? And the armor is made out of Beskar, which is like Beskar.
That's some adamantium shit.
Yeah, in the Marvel world, it's like the Black Panther technology. This is top of the line shit. You're not getting better than this. So
what's the Black Panther shit? Vibranium.
It's
the vibranium of Star
was
Wars.
The strongest on the Earth. Vibranium was the strongest in the universe. Mm-hmm. So when they had their little fight, it was amazing to watch. I wish it went on longer because it was very fire. Because he was like, and then he was using his gadgets, and then she was like, I was like, bro, this is crazy. So then they stopped fighting because she sees Grogu in his pouch. He carries him in a pouch, and then she was like, how do you have that?
Yoda.
Like, how do
She's like Yoda.
She's like, yeah, that thing looks familiar. She said that thing looks familiar. She knows Yoda. She's used to talk to Yoda. So he said, listen, I was hired
to talk to Yoda.
Mando says, I was hired to kill you, but I don't want to kill you. Like, I want to bring this guy back to the Jedi because the Jedi are the only group that can help him with his abilities, his training as a Force wielder.
So the Mandalorian is a Force wielder.
Bottom line is, she can't take him as a apprentice because he has like a father-son connection with Mando, the Mandalorian. So he can't focus on his Force-wielding abilities with her. But when the Mandalorian tells him to do this and that, he was doing it like a father-son type of thing. Like you listen to your father. Mm-hmm. So she said, you know what? There might be hope. I could take you, like I'm going to tell you where to go. It's like an ancient Jedi temple. And if Grogu, Baby Yoda, wants to be a Force wielder, aka Jedi, he's gonna know what to do at that temple. If he doesn't, then that's it. You guys don't have to worry about him being a Force wielder.
Okay.
You're gonna have to deny the fact that he could use that ability. Like he just doesn't want to become a Jedi.
Sure.
They went to the temple, and then he just starts in this fucking Zen mode, like
Grogu.
Woo! Yeah, he starts floating. It's a force field, and then Mando tries touching him, and gets blown back by the force, and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Out of nowhere, there's like spaceships or stormtroopers coming in to kidnap the Baby Yoda. Keep in mind, both seasons of Mandalorian, Moff Gideon, who is pretty much the Sith at this point, he holds the dark saber, which is very fire. It's a dark lightsaber, bro.
Like black? Is it black?
It's black and white.
Well, like with the white outline.
Bro, yeah, it's a black saber with a white outline, bro. It is so fire. There's a story behind that too.
He holds the dark saber.
He holds the dark saber. There's a story behind that, which
Gideon.
What?
Mav Gideon.
Moff
Gideon.
Yeah. He pretty much is like the Sith at this point, and he's like tracking down Baby Yoda because he wants to take Yoda's the Grogu's blood for testing purposes, like cloning, whatever the fuck he wants to do. So he sends these stormtroopers to come get the baby because this baby is exerting so much energy that you could feel it throughout the fucking galaxy. Like, well, if you're a Force wielder, you could sense the energy because it's like a Super Saiyan type of thing. It's a disruption
in the Force.
Yeah, you're like, yo, where's that energy coming from?
Right. Yeah.
This is where Boba Fett comes into play. Boba Fett comes, right? He doesn't have the helmet because Mando actually has his helmet. He has it like in his like armory thing, and he only got it because somebody tried robbing him, and he killed the person that robbed him, and he found out that this guy had a helmet. The Mandalorian in the show does not know who Boba Fett is. He does not know.
Okay.
And keep in mind, Boba Fett is a legend on the Mandalorians.
Sure, okay.
He was side by side with Darth Vader. He was side by side with all like the Sith people. He was the bounty hunter that everybody feared. He doesn't know who he is because Mando was adopted as an orphan by the Mandalorian culture, and he was just raised to respect certain things. He was never taught your ancestry, like Boba Fett. Jango Fett is Boba Fett's father,
right?
He was actually the legend, like he was the pioneer of the Mandalorians. He was the leader of the OG Mandalorians. So their history is crazy. So Boba Fett said, "I'm here for my armor." No, he said, "I'm here for the armor." And then Mando was like, "Well, you're gonna have to peel off my body, my dead body. They're gonna fight."
Right.
And Boba Fett said, "It's like I don't want your armor, I want mine." And it was like
that's his armor.
Yeah. Mando was like, "What the fuck you talking about?" Mando doesn't know that he actually has his armor in his backpack. So the stormtroopers come and they start fighting Mandalorian, and he starts, it's a lot, overwhelming, whatever. He's going crazy. Out of nowhere, you see Boba Fett in his armor, killing everybody, and they make him. I'm telling you, they make him so beast.
Yeah.
I was like, bro. Nah, they making him, bro. Let's go back to the Darth Vader movies. Like Boba Fett was cool. He was cool. Like he was being a little beast.
Right.
But if they would have had this Boba Fett in back then, I would have never cared about Darth Vader.
It'd have been a whole different
thing.
I
would have Darth Vader. Who? Boba Fett. Give me Boba Fett, bro. That dude's monster.
Right.
So,
and that has a lot to do with the Clone Wars, right? When they were trying to clone.
Yeah, he's actually a clone.
They were trying to clone Jango. Jango is who they cloned.
They cloned him, but that's his son. So this is I like how you brought that up because there's a part in the story of the season.
Boba is Jango's son, but also the clone. He raised the clone of himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
There we go.
So it's actually very, very cool that you brought that up because in the show, they never did this in season 1, but season 2, Mando gets in a tough situation where he has to fight off a bunch of like looters, but it's like too many. Out of nowhere, 3 Mandalorians come out of nowhere and help him. And keep in mind, Mandalorians is a very secluded race.
Right.
They're not everywhere on the street.
Sure.
It's very rare to see one. And if you see one, you think of bad things because they only come out to hunt. Like they come out to do their bounties, what they're paid to do, to kill. So he saw these Mandalorians. They were all in blue. And he was like confused. They all took off their helmets. And he was like, "You guys aren't real Mandalorians because you don't take off your helmets." They were like, "Yeah, we are. You just part of the certain culture that doesn't do that. You're the ancient culture that doesn't take off your helmet." he didn't agree with that. He's like, nah, I don't believe in you guys. You guys are wannabes. You guys want to be a Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
So those people, right? They're important because later in the story, toward the end of the season, they come back because they actually have history with Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon is
the Sith leader,
the guy who has the dark saber.
Sure.
Later, the show teaches me this. The dark saber actually used to belong to the Mandalorians.
That's crazy.
If you were a Mandalorian, if you held the dark saber, you were considered the leader of all Mandalorians and the land. You were the guy, like the king. So pretty much you were like the Luke Skywalkers of Mandalorians.
Sure.
You were like the guy. And the main girl from the Mandalorians was like, I want my saber back because he took it from me. And you can't just steal a dark saber. The dark saber doesn't work as in like you steal it from me, whatever, I could use it. You have to win it in combat. Like the saber knows who earns it.
That's fucking crazy.
So
that's crazy right there.
So you gotta earn it in combat.
Okay. All right.
So the saber, like nobody could just pick it up and use it. Like it won't work. You had to actually have earned it through combat. So one of those girl Mandalorians who used to be like a wielder, she lost it to Moff Gideon, and Moff Gideon took it from her, and she's like, I need to get my revenge. Mm-hmm. So she asks this guy Mando for help. He's like, I don't care about your dark saber things. I only care about the child. He has the child. At this point in the story, Moff Gideon actually kidnapped Grogu toward the end of the season.
Sure.
So here comes the last episode. Boba Fett and Mando go talk to those Mandalorian girls and say, yo, we're going to plan this assault on Moff Gideon. We got all the intel, everything. We're going to take the baby back. They said, okay, but on one condition. I get to keep the Darksaber. I get to kill him.
Who gets to keep the Darksaber?
The girl, the leader.
The girl Mandalorian.
The leader of the little 3-pack.
Okay.
She's a redhead. Her name is Bo-Katan. She's actually a main character in the Clone Wars. She said, as long as I get to kill Gideon and take the saber. They were like, the Mando said, I don't care. Do what you want. I only care about the kid. So they do their assault. They get on the ship. Moff Gideon is like a step ahead. So you know how they're stormtroopers? Yo, he made a bunch of clones of something called Dark Troopers. Yo, bro. Just imagine a bunch of Iron Man suits, but you cannot kill them. Like, they're impierceable. Mm-hmm. It's so hard to kill them. And so...
That seems crazy.
He designed those to beat the Mandos. And when they took control of the ship... Moff Gideon was nowhere to be found, and then like the whole cast was like in the main control room without him being there, and they were like, "Yo, where's Moff?" And then Moff Gideon was actually with Baby Yoda, like holding a saber to his neck, because Mando found him. He's like, "Yo, let's make a deal. I already took the blood from this baby, so you could take him, as long as you don't take my dark saber." Mando said, "I don't care about your dark saber. I just want the baby." He got the baby, and then Moff Gideon tried killing him in the back. But the armor is God tier.
Right. So
he's like blocking everything. Then they end up fighting. And you know what's even more fire about the fight scene, bro? when he first fought the Jedi, Ahsoka Tano, in the forest, they planned an assault on that city that she was trying to free. Mm-hmm. He killed the ruler, and the ruler had a spear, right? A spear of Beskar armor. Beskar is literally the same fucking metal that is the Mandalorian's outfit is made from. So it's literally, you cannot even break the spear.
Right.
So he brought that spear on the ship, and he was fighting that dude's Darksaber with the spear.
Fuck.
Bro, that fight scene was 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, bro. I was like, whoa. He beat him in the fight. Didn't kill him, but he beat him in combat. So he got the Darksaber. But he just got it just so Moff wouldn't have it. He just took it. He doesn't know about the story behind it. So he beat him, and then Moff was like, "You're going to have a little issue here." And he was like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, Bo-Katan, the other Mandalorian that's waiting for him, she's not going to be too happy that you have the Darksaber."
Okay.
He's like, "I don't care. I'm going to just give it to her." He just said, "I'm going to give it to her." He was like, "It doesn't work like that. You have to earn the Darksaber in battle." So when he brought Moff Gideon to the room that they were all in, she was annoyed. Like, you could visibly see in her face when he entered the room with the saber in his hand,
right,
and have the guy handcuffed, that she was like not even happy. She was like pissed because he had the dark saber, which means that now she has to beat the Mando in a fight to get the saber.
if she wants that shit.
But
right.
he didn't know that because he literally closed the saber and he said, "Here, take it." She was like staring at it, and then Moff Gideon was on the floor. He's like, "She can't." He's like, "She can't. She has to fight you." She's like, and it's like a little meme they made out of it. It's like it's not the saber. It's the story behind the saber that makes it work.
Okay.
So Mando was like, "Well, I don't care. Just fucking take it." And she was like, "Nope, nope." Boom. Out of nowhere, this is where the Dark Troopers get activated and they start flying in, and they closed everything down. So they're like, "Fuck, we can't kill those guys. Like we cannot." Yo, out of nowhere, you see a old flight little like jet plane fly in, and then one of the Mandalorians gets on the intercom. They're like, "Who's in that plane right now?" Nobody answered. Then in the security comm, you see some hooded Jedi. It's like vroom, 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 killing all those Dark Troopers. And that's the only way you could kill those, with a lightsaber.
Right.
Those things were impierceable, but those lightsabers could like break through those armors. And like, when I saw the lightsaber green, I was like, bro, who is that? Obi-Wan Kenobi, whatever. And I'm confused. And I'm looking at the figure. The figure was slim. And I'm like, who the
And
fuck?
small. Like,
who the fuck is that, yo? I'm like, and all you see is this motherfucker with his little hood, boom, using the Force. Yo, he used, actually, if you guys don't know this, in the Jedi world, the term Force crush, which is like, use the Force and I crush your body like that, like I squeeze you tight and kill you. That's actually illegal. You can't do that as a Jedi. It's actually in the rules. That Force crush is not allowed, no matter on any living being. This motherfucker in the hood did that shit to the robots. He literally crushed them.
Right.
But that's allowed because it's not a living person. It's a machine.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I saw that and I was like, yo, this motherfucker wilding, bro. Like,
Right.
he's just doing everything.
He's not fucking around.
He's literally throwing people to himself, cutting their necks off, whatever. He gets into the room where Mando and the whole like cast is at. Takes off the hood. It's fucking Luke Skywalker.
Now, who plays Luke Skywalker?
OG. Look, it's Luke Skywalker, a new actor, but the face is CGI of the old Luke Skywalker, and they did it. They did it.
Mark Hamill, but CGI'd.
Bro, let me tell you how perfect they did that shit. It was like seeing a fucking ghost. I was like, what? And then
They're like, we got to make this shit good.
And then Mando was like, "Are you a Jedi?" Like he didn't know who it was. He was like, "Are you a Jedi?" He was like, "Yes." And then Grogu saw him, and Grogu got like lit. Grogu was like he wants to go with him. He wants to train with that guy.
Because Yoda, I mean,
and then
obviously
like,
we know the history of Yoda.
And then Luke is like, "I need to take the baby because Yoda was my master, and like he knows about the whatever."
Right.
So
we still don't know the name of the race.
Actually, I don't think they say it, but his name is Grogu. Whatever.
I like that if they leave it a little mystery.
So I mean, Luke does say talent without training is a waste. Which, you know why it was so fire to hear that? Because that's kind of why the last 3 Star Wars movies were so bad. Rey, without training, was doing shit that was never shown to us.
Yeah.
Especially in the last movie. The last movie, she was doing things, and I'm like, bro, what? Like, they don't even explain how she knows these things. She got on the Starcraft, and the stormtroopers were like about to like call the alarm on the intruders, and she went in front of them and she did this wave, and she like brainwashed them. I'm like, where the fuck did she learn that shit from? She was never.
She didn't learn that from Luke?
No.
On the island?
No. All she did was control her force power. But
well, I thought between the second and third movie, that's when she was with Luke. In the downtime between the second and the third movie, that's when she trained with Luke on the island?
Yeah, but none of that was shown to her. It was just meditating wise
okay.
and like endurance. Bro, she did so much shit in the last movie that I was like, okay. But when Luke said that talent without training is a waste, I was like, that's kind of why people hate Rey.
Sure.
And then R2-D2, the original, was there, which was pretty cool because you're like, that dude's been through everything. And then Moff Gideon was actually scared. He tried to actually kill himself when he saw Luke Skywalker. He literally grabbed the blaster, tried to kill himself, shoot him in the face, and they stopped him.
He tried to kill himself.
And it's funny.
He tried to body himself.
It's funny because I watched a breakdown in it, and it was like, you know why he tried to do that? Because like I said, in the eyes of the galaxy, the fucking Luke, the Luke Skywalker was the god. He was the one that blew up the Death Star twice. Mm-hmm. He broke the Empire. He killed Darth Vader, who was one of the strongest, most feared people in the universe, galaxy. He killed Palpatine. He did all that by himself. So
he's a mythical figure, right?
Yeah, it's like seeing fucking Jesus on the planet. Like, yo, this man's crazy.
He's turning up.
So you're like, that's why he tried, because he was scared. He's like, once you saw Luke Skywalker, you're like, it's over for me. Like, I'm gonna end it before he has the chance. So, he didn't get to kill himself. They stopped him, but Luke took Grogu, and at this point, Mando was carrying Grogu, and he was sad.
Said Goku. Go on.
Grogu, sorry.
No, Grogu.
He was carrying him. He was sad. So Grogu, as goodbye, was like pointing to his helmet, and this is the first time he took the helmet off.
No, it's Pedro Pascal underneath.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal. Yeah. And he actually started crying. Like, he was literally tearing, as because he had a connection with the little baby Yoda.
Right.
So Grogu was happy, and then that's it. Like, Luke took him, and that was the finale of it was crazy. It was like such an amazing episode, and also fan service to like the older Star Wars fans. Like, bro, Luke Skywalker, like, that's crazy, bro. Like, he just came and just destroyed everything. Like, so that was the ending, and then the secret ending, right? Because they like to do this. Boba Fett kills like a king of an underground, and then
he kills a what? King of underground?
Yeah, it's like
just a guy, just a okay.
Yeah, it's like there's like an underground and like some planet he went to, and he kills the underground king. Takes the throne, and he has like an apprentice.
Takes the throne,
and pretty much that's what. No, it's literally a throne.
I know. Yeah, I got you.
He sits on the throne. He sits on the throne like a badass, and then that's when it cuts off and it says the Book of Boba Fett, 2021. Oh, fire! That's when they announced the show right there. Boom, Book of Boba Fett. I was like, bro, and there's gonna be a season 3 of Mandalorian, so it's not like the Mandalorian's done.
Fuck.
And you know what I think they should do? The Mandalorian, I want to see that motherfucker use the Darksaber, bro. I want to see him. So
the Darksaber is meant to obviously, based on the way you've built it up at this point, I'm understanding it to be stronger than your average lightsaber.
No, I think I did read something about like it might be a little bit stronger. It's the only thing that is the properties that's weird. It's like it actually looks like a blade. Because lightsabers don't look like a blade; they're just like a stick,
straight fucking
like
thing,
a beam, just a straight beam.
Right.
The Darksaber actually looks like a fucking blade, like it's pointy.
Oh,
and it looks like an actual sword. So it's a black saber with a white outline. It looks fucking fire. I think there's people out there like that are already getting the cosplays ready for next year, and they already have like a Darksaber. Like, actually, I was gonna do that this year with Comic-Con with my girl. I was gonna get the Mando suit, bro. I was 100% with it. Before this, I even saw the season, and but yeah, like obviously Comic Con's canceled, whatever. But I think I'll do it next year, like whenever things are normal. I'll do it. Darksaber, fire, definitely the favorite lightsaber today. I'm sorry, like that. And the story behind that is like, whoever wields the saber is the leader of the Mandalorians and the leader to Mandalore. Mandalore is the planet where Mandalorians are from.
Okay.
But that planet is like non-existent now because it was all the Mandalorians were killed, just like the Jedi. So, Mando, there's gonna be a definitely, if there's a season, there's gonna be a season 3, and that's probably gonna be the last season for him. Like, this is probably gonna be the story between him and the other Mandalorians, and probably the story of the Darksaber, because there's no way he's gonna have the Darksaber and not use it. Like, he didn't use it at all when he got it from Moff Gideon. He didn't use it, like, because that was the end. So I definitely want to see the story behind that. I'm telling you, 10 out of 10 show, fire, way better than the movies. Sadly, that's my take.
Well, I'll tell you what, you made me want to watch it. I had no real desire to before this moment, but one last thing, because we're burning daylight and you can see the shadows forming over our fucking eyes. That was not the case 2 hours ago. The MLB, you're like one of the few people I know that cares about, that gives a fuck about baseball enough to talk about it. recently they decided to adopt the Negro Leagues records into the MLB records.
I heard about that.
I don't know. I'm for it, but let me just say this. You specifically know that Ichiro is my favorite baseball player ever. We've talked about this probably once or twice. Ichiro is my favorite baseball player of all time.
He's one of my top 10.
I wouldn't mind if they gave him the record over Pete Rose for most hits.
Because he definitely does have, at a professional level, he definitely has the most hits.
At a professional level, the number is counted. He has more hits, so he could be the hit king over Pete Rose. So for me, the Negro Leagues records being counted to the MLB records is like the gateway for Ichiro to now be the hit king, which that's a lot. That's a whole nother.
That's another discussion.
That's a gigantic step. I know that's a gigantic fucking step. But I did a lot of research on this, and so what they're saying is that like I'll bring up somebody who's very obvious, Satchel Paige. Anybody who's like follows baseball a lot knows the name Satchel Paige.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know his specific stats. So basically, what they're saying is Satchel Paige is now going to have 150 more wins. Add it to his MLB wins, which is like only like 20 something. So now he'll have 270 something wins more than what he had because of his time in the Negro Leagues. Spent most of his time in the Negro Leagues.
That's pretty.
How do you feel? Do you care? Do you not care? You don't have to care. But
I don't really care that much,
yeah.
but the only reason why it's specific to MLB is because the Negro Leagues was still American.
Right.
And this is why I think, like, as much as America doesn't like to include other countries in their shit, so it's going to be hard to adopt overseas statistics and adopt them into American League statistics. Like, that's the only reason why, like, I don't think Ichiro's stats will ever count. I actually think they won't never count.
I don't think so either.
Because I feel like it's too much of a pride thing with, US.
It's too much to overcome because then if you allow Ichiro stats, now we're talking about Hideki Matsui.
I mean, Matsui was good, but he was never Ichiro good. Like,
right. But if you allow
was ever really like, come on, like, that's crazy.
Ichiro is head and shoulders above the rest of the other players that came from Japan.
He's not even left-handed. My man learned how to bat lefty to be a god. Like that. Like what? He's not even left-handed. For a skinny dude, he used to have one of the best arms.
I don't really know. Like when we talk about Asian, when I say Asian, really I mean Japanese because that's.
Yeah.
Most Asian players in the MLB now are from Japan, obviously. Japan. They come from the Nippon Professional Baseball League, I guess. Ichiro is like, above where the camera is showing. Yeah, and then the next is like...
they have statues sculpted.
Right. Now we have like Hideo.
Ichiro is like the modern Babe Ruth.
As far as like hits and average.
Well, I think in
notoriety maybe?
In Asian baseball. In Middle Eastern baseball, like he's definitely like all those little kids in middle school in Japan and Tokyo.
He's
China,
like their shit.
Like
he's their Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I can imagine Ichiro jerseys everywhere. Literally, Ichiro.
Right. Like when I would watch
the same way Michael Jordan is over here. Like you see 23.
Exactly. I would watch the Little League World Series. And like when Japan has their team, like when they do the little close-ups to the kids, and then they say Albert Pujols, Derek Jeter, like Japan's whole team is like Ichiro. Like they're like Ichiro, motherfucker.
It's fine. Like can't touch it, man.
Yeah. The only thing is like some of the records, because as soon as it happened, I read a couple articles about it, and it's like, how do you handle? According to these articles that were written, is the Negro League records were poorly kept. Like people are not keeping score correctly. The little book with the bases. They're not doing all that necessarily as accurately as you should. So how do you incorporate records that are poorly kept is the discussion really.
If you think about it, some records could be buffed.
But buffed or nerfed.
Yeah, like
buffed or nerfed.
There could be a lot of like statistics that aren't legit. They could be like
right.
They like if I played back then, they could have put the average 2 or 3 hits a game.
I'd be like, no, Gio, you didn't strike out. You got a single, bro.
Yeah, like
was making shit up, right.
That's why certain stats were really cool, like the Iron Horse stat, like Cal Ripken never missing a game, and like Lou Gehrig. I still think Lou Gehrig's record would never be broken.
Cal Ripken broke it. I thought.
No, I'm talking about the 56 game hitting.
Oh,
streak.
the hit
I don't
streak.
think
that's not Lou Gehrig.
That is Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig used to own like 5
That's
records.
not Lou Gehrig.
Bro, Lou Gehrig is the GOAT. I'm telling you.
Is that Lou Gehrig hitch? MLB hit. What's the record called?
The longest hitting streak, game hitting streak. It's either Lou Gehrig or Joe DiMaggio. One of those.
I think it's Joe DiMaggio.
Okay, sure.
It's Joe DiMaggio with 56.
56?
Yeah.
I know Lou Gehrig had a lot of...
Lou Gehrig got passed up by Cal Ripken for most games played.
The Iron Horse.
Yeah, Lou Gehrig is the Iron Horse.
It's fucked up because he didn't stop intentionally. He got sick.
He got sick.
That's crazy.
He got a crippling metabolical fucking disease. His bones are shriveling and shit like that.
That's crazy.
It's extreme. Otherwise, he'd be fucking playing another 10 years back in those days.
Bro, he would have had the most insane... I think he would have had the most insane record.
All right, well, here's what I like when I argument for the Negro Leagues to be implemented into the books. Dude, if you look at Cy Young, I just Googled all this, so the knowledge is fresh within me. Cy Young has like 500 plus wins. They're not... Who's the best pitcher today? Let's pretend Clayton Kershaw, even though maybe it can be argued, whatever. He's obviously really good.
Yeah.
They're not even going to let him pitch that much.
But
he'll never pitch
and
that.
that's why I said...
They're not going to let him.
That's why I said...
Yeah.
Some records are probably never going to be broken.
Because it's irrational when they were
because of the day
obtained.
and age now. Everybody's too protective of the players.
Yeah.
And you want to be safe. And like the Iron Horse record, like, you know how hard it is going to be to break? They're not going to want their star player to play 182 games every year, including playoffs. But like,
they're not even going to do it. But even though compared to Cy Young, who was late 1800s to early 1900s, Cal Ripken is like, he stopped playing like 15 years ago.
I mean, but he did
That's
that
when
in
he
the
got
90s,
their record.
and I feel
90s
like
and yeah.
the 90s to
Even
now
then,
is still
things
different.
changed.
Mad different.
Even then, things have changed.
Look at Sabathia. When the Yankees got Sabathia, he was a workhorse.
Right.
Not that much people are workhorses now. If you throw 200 innings a year, that's it. You know more.
Right. You're expecting to get more value
out
out
of
of
relief pitching
pitchers.
260 innings a year, bro. He's like, I didn't give a hell. Like, I was a tank.
I didn't give a hell.
Like, I won my chip and that's it. Like, he was pitching like crazy. Man, they don't allow that.
Some of the things, I think they obvious. To me, this is obvious, and they're saying it. The MLB is saying it. They did it. The reason why they're incorporating these records is it's a racial reason, because they want to basically right the wrongs that the MLB has done for those back in the day when they were basically trying to shut down the Negro Leagues. But now we can get a little political if we want to, but Jim Crow laws, black people, obviously handicap fucking start, right?
Yeah.
They were not brought here to succeed.
Yeah.
So now the MLB is trying to right the wrongs of that history by including the records. But every article I've read, written by a black person or not, is like Josh Gibson is like one of the Negro League players from back then. Supposedly has more than 800 home runs, but that's what they're saying. It's about 800.
Yeah.
How do you calculate about 800?
Because it's human error.
Yeah. I'm not giving you a number. I'm not handing you the record books. Hey, Gio, I hit 700 hits. You're like, where's the fucking proof, right?
Just take my word.
Yeah, exactly. just take my word. So, like, some of the records, some of them are very specific. Like, the current home run king is Barry Bonds, I think. Then Hank Aaron.
With an asterisk.
And then Babe Ruth. I think he's number 3. So, the first 2 guys are black guys. This is what I know.
Isn't A-Rod number 3? Or is it 4?
I think he's number 3 or 4.
Yo, you know what's crazy about A-Rod?
He's a beast.
He quit on his own turn. He could have
played.
I think he was really close to passing somebody, and he still quit because of the contract situation.
Yeah.
He quit because the Yankees didn't want to deal with.
I remember the Yankees are pretty sour about their deal with them.
He did like tank the organization. Nobody.
What I'm saying is, that's the Yankees' fault to me. You put so much money into a player, into a contract, and you expect. It kind of goes both ways.
Well, it's actually MLB's fault, not like because the MLB is the ones responsible for the testing, aka also responsible for the cheating scandal.
Yeah.
This all comes down to.
This is true. This is
like,
not. This is not. This is real.
The only wrong thing the Astros GM did was that they say that he knew that this was going on and he let it. keep going on. With multiple steroid issues, obviously there's a lot where players knew, but like with A-Rod just got picked up from Texas, and nobody was gonna obviously like. It's like cheating in a like if I was a cheater in a video game, like I wouldn't tell my teammates that I cheated.
Right. You're not gonna tell them.
What are the odds?
You're not gonna be like, hey, Gio, I'm doing steroids. By the way, I'm gonna smash 3 home runs tonight.
Like yo, I'm taking these goods, bro. Like don't tell nobody. Like if I'm cheating in a video game or in sports, I'm not gonna tell anybody because they're gonna go. Like you don't know if they're actually gonna snitch. Somebody could pay these guys like, yo, we'll pay you $100 to tell us what's going on with this dude. Boom. Yeah. So like that's the thing. A-Rod got picked up from the Rangers and boom, like he was just cranking them 90s, bro, with like the needles in his arm. Like I don't know, like they said he used to take the needle like in his back thigh or something like that. I don't know. So
back thigh, wherever,
yeah, like wherever you couldn't see the
Yeah.
bandage. So
right here, you know where like the cuts of the booty cheek and the thigh.
Yeah,
like that's where he's getting jammed.
But it's messed up. But I think like this is why a lot of people make fun of MLB because I think MLB does it to themselves. Like the cheating situation is so crazy because like how do the players get immunity, but the managers don't? And the players are the ones actually on the field.
They're the ones doing the cheating.
They're the ones doing the hard work.
They're the ones doing the cheating. The hard cheating.
The manager's the one that's like shh, like we don't tell nobody. Yeah. So that's like crazy. And I'm sorry, man. As much love as I had and much respect as I had for Jose Altuve. That shit went down the fucking drain.
It's a big difference. It's down the drain.
It's down the drain.
It's down the drain.
It's gone.
Dude, I remember talking to you about this. And I was talking to you and my other friend Pedro. I was like, I remember watching the Houston Astros in the playoffs and texting my friends. Like, Jose Altuve is a fucking god. Like, I was literally saying he's God.
You watched it? I lived through it.
I was comparing him.
He was spanking the Yankees. And I'm like, this man's hitting 350 against the Yankees. Like, I was so mad. Like, how the fuck?
I was comparing him to a deity. I was like, Jose Altuve's God. Who else can do these things but God?
Yeah, best player in MLB. Like, literally.
It was no argument.
He always knew what was coming. It's crazy. So, I don't know. It's almost like he
is God. I was like, he's God. Nobody else can do this but God.
Bro, and you can still look this up on YouTube. That walk-off, like 2 years ago, against Chapman, to send them to the World Series.
At the time, one of the greatest moments in MLB history.
And then
history.
I remember I was home alone because my parents were like in Russia or some shit. And then I was like watching this shit. It was like 12 o'clock. And I'm like, yo, Chapman.
What the fuck?
I was like, yo, Chapman, come on, just get a strikeout or just get an outlet so we're good. We'll go to extra innings. And I don't know if you remember in the top of that inning, DJ LeMahieu hit a 2-run home run to tie the game.
You're hype.
And DJ LeMahieu's been a god for the Yankees.
He was good.
The Yankees scooped him. He's been a monster. This man's literally sitting back for a slider and gets it. And I'm over like
on a slider.
On a slider.
On a slider.
A guy that throws 100.
On a fucking slider.
Who
does that,
bro?
No, not many people.
You're not gonna be sitting for a slider when you know this guy could blow past you with 100.
Yeah.
And it's just like. I saw that home run. I was like, bro, why he looked like he waited for it? It looked weird. And then next thing you know, he's covering his chest at home plate. They want him to take off the shirt because you're celebrating. You're going to the World Series.
He said my wife would be jealous.
He said my wife didn't like it the last time.
Yeah. Like your wife would be
Meanwhile,
jealous.
You're posting pictures.
It's dudes grabbing your chest. Your wife's jealous of dudes grabbing your chest?
Because you're on national TV, you're going to the World Chip. Yeah. Like, what? You already just made another bonus for clinching the AL East, right? No, the AL pennant. And first of all, like, you're going to say that your wife doesn't like when you have your shirt off. But on your Instagram, half your pictures.
It's a lie.
Yeah, of course
it's a lie.
But it's just he was caught being a hypocrite. It's literally, It's Instagram, and half of his posts is without his shirt on. Literally. People are exposing this motherfucker as soon as he said that shit. Because that was the weirdest thing. Imagine, like, yo, I just clutched up for us to fucking send us to the chip.
I just clutched up for us.
You think I'm going to give a fuck with my girl talking about, bro? Like,
no.
I'm fucking
as soon as my foot touches home plate, I'm already taking shots. I'm already going crazy. Yeah, I'm already going nuts.
Give me anything. Anything's going in my mouth.
Anything's going in my mouth.
It's over, bro. It's over. Like,
anything's going in my mouth.
Like, bro.
Oh, shit.
Like, it's raps. Like, and then for him to say that, and he also said something else. It was like really weird. I'm trying to remember exactly what he said when they asked him about that. He was like, "Yeah, she just doesn't like it or whatever." It was like weird. There's like this footage out there you can watch. of the interview.
Mm.
Very weird. Oh, he said he had a very bad tattoo that he had done that he didn't like.
That just sounds so
that was
fake.
I was like,
you sound fake.
motherfucker earns $30 million a year, and you telling me you got a bad tattoo?
You can't
done?
get a good tattoo artist.
Yeah, you can't pay a dude $1,500 for a session.
Where's he from? Venezuela?
Like,
you got that shit done in Venezuela?
So I was like, dude, that just made no sense. Obviously, people are deciphering pictures of like something bulging, kicking out like a fucking like a tape recorder,
like a little like that.
A buzzer,
like
no, the buzzer. This is one of the buzzers.
Right.
And
but anything like that was like, oh my god.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, bro.
Anything like a little wrinkle in the shirt was like, bro, we got you.
Like, bro, that's a buzzer.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but he.
But that's how they were doing it.
Yeah, let me hit the trash cans. What was that one player that actually was hearing that during the games, and he was like, "Yo, I think they're figuring out the signs," and they changed it up, and he actually struck out.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Bregman or Carrera. Bregman's another funny one because he actually has the biggest mouth in the team.
He does talk a lot.
And when they got exposed, he was the quietest one on the team. Like, he literally was quiet. He was not saying shit.
You can't.
And then Correa was the one that was talking mad shit. Correa was like, man, ain't deep. Like, bro, shut up. Like,
we know.
he's the youngest on the team, and like he just sounds like
Well, that's the thing is like we are like imagine if I caught you doing some shit. Like I saw you, Gio, steal something, and then you talk shit about how you didn't steal it. Like I literally saw you.
Yeah, like
that's how it is.
Like, why are you still trying at this point?
Yes,
why are you still
exactly. We saw it, we heard it, we know it, and you're still defending. I don't know what.
And and with the Astros this year about with this shortened season, and they were doing well. They got to the ALCS. No, they had a
no.
They had a free fucking bracket. I don't want to hear it. They played against nobodies, and I don't want to hear it. I would have bet money that if they would have played in the Yankees in the ALDS, the Yankees would have won. 100%. I would have put fucking money on that because the Yankees were definitely a better team. They lost to who? The Yankees lost. They lost to the Rays, and the Rays made it to Rays made it to the World Series. The Rays were 3-0. They were up 3-0 against the Astros. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if they were like letting up.
It was scary. No, I remember I was like, the Astros, if they win, like people are gonna be so mad.
Yeah.
Because they're hated right now.
Yeah, of course. But like that's just how I look at it. Like, nah, I'm more because they play nobody. Who the fuck the Astros played in the LDS? I can't even remember. Who? The Indians? Oh shit!
Right. Probably something like that.
I'm about to look this up because I need to know.
Who's that? Who's in the Indians division? The White Sox. We don't like them.
It was definitely some bum ass. It was the Oakland A's.
Yeah, who cares?
The Oakland them? Who? That's what I'm.
We don't care about them.
Like, bro, it was the Oakland A's, and I'm like, bro, like the Oakland A's were good, but they only had one good pitcher and like 2 or 3 good hitters. Like, they're not gonna carry a whole series win because of that. So. The A's beat them. I mean, the Astros beat them, and then they played against Tampa Bay. They were getting spanked, brought it close, whatever, lost. But for the fact that Correa still came out and said, "Yeah, we made it to the LCS. I don't care, bro. What? You had a free ride, like, and they were getting spanked. Like, I don't know if you saw the Dodgers game in the regular season. Mm-hmm. The Dodgers were spanking them. Like, it wasn't close. Mm-hmm. And I love that one dude, Joe Kelly, who like was mimicking them.
He's gay, bro. He's gay to me. I know you're not supposed to say that. No, I'm gonna say this on. But a little sad. It was a gay face, but I understand. But I understand the sentiment behind "you're gonna cry now." Like, oh, you're gonna cry now. I understand it because you don't have any room for that. Like, you don't, as the Astros, you don't have any room for sympathy. Nobody has sympathy for you. Yeah. So I mean,
spring training.
We don't care about you.
Spring training, people are actually throwing shit at them.
The only people that had a concern for the Astros were Astros fans. That's the only people that were defending them. You would have to be crazy to defend them otherwise.
Yep. Like, even the Yankees and Red Sox games were bad this year because the Red Sox were just legitimately ass. They had nobody on the fucking team.
They were not. Yeah, they were not.
Nobody. They gave away everybody. Mookie's there. They only had one dude, Michael Bradley Jr. That's it. Everybody else on the team was ass. And they finished like 30 games back in the division.
I remember the first year they gave like Jacoby Ellsbury like a huge contract. He's his ass.
Then the Yankees gave him that contract. He was bust,
not good. Yeah,
bust.
Not good.
You know what's one Red Sox player I always actually had a lot of respect for?
Don't say Johnny Damon.
No.
Okay, good.
Dustin Pedroia. He was beast.
I
thought he was beast. Like, he was definitely. He was a 5'3". He's a monster.
Dustin Pedroia is good. You know who I'm thinking of? No, Dustin Pedroia is fine. Kevin Youkilis. He's shit.
My man looked like fucking Stone Cold with a goatee, bro.
He's ass. Kevin Youkilis is so trash.
He had the weirdest batting stance of all time.
There was another catcher.
And he was captain.
There's another catcher who's like a dick.
It was Jason Varitek. Varitek was the captain.
There's another catcher who's like a dick.
Jason Varitek.
Probably Jason
He was
Varitek.
the one that snuffed A-Rod.
Yeah.
He was the snuffed. It's like, fuck out of my face. Fuck you doing here?
But the point of this is, I do believe the MLB record books are mired in cheating scandals.
There's so much asterisk.
There's so many asterisks.
And now they got to put the bigger one with the fucking... I think they should have took the ring back. I don't know. Fuck.
No. I agree with you. I think they should have took the ring back.
If I was a Dodgers fan, you would have been I would have been reeling back in my chair. Like,
well,
what?
I think what I'm saying is with the Negro Leagues thing is the MLB knows that it's so swamped in disgust. Is that was their way of trying to cover their tracks a little bit? We're gonna allow this thing because the sport is so dirty otherwise.
Yeah.
With the steroids they so obviously ignored. I mean, you couldn't discipline somebody for steroids until 2005.
There was literally an era called the steroid era.
Yeah, the
because
steroid
there
era.
was so much Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, fucking man. You even had Gary Sheffield doing that shit. Yeah, I like Gary Sheffield.
Everybody does. Everybody does.
I like this.
Everybody likes Gary Sheffield.
So
he's easy to like. With the cool.
I'm pretty sure A-Rod hit up Mark McGwire. He's like, yo, who's your dealer, bro?
Here's what I have to say about that.
I'm not here to talk about the past.
No, I am here to talk about the past.
But that's what that's what he said in court.
No. I'm here to talk about the past. Whenever I hear a baseball fan say, it doesn't matter that they took steroids, I'm like, you're the biggest moron that I know exists today. You know what a warning track fly ball is. The little dirt track and the outfield. You know how many of those warning track fly balls are catches instead of home runs if you're not on steroids? Between, who knows, thousands. It can be, we're talking about thousands. How many warning track fly balls are hit every day during the MLB season? Tens. So over a season, we're talking about hundreds. Over decades, we're talking about thousands. If you're a fan of baseball and say, it doesn't matter that they took steroids because you still have to hit the ball. Yeah, me and you could hit the ball badly and get it pretty far. Now, if you add a little juice to that, now all of a sudden we're talking about the wall. It's a huge difference. The devil is in the details again, because you're talking about a difference between a couple of feet is the difference. 5 inches is the difference between a home run and a catch. It's stupid to say something like that to me. I feel very strongly about that.
It's always the people that don't play at the high level that don't understand. They don't understand it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's like that one commentator that when Jose Altuve struck out this year, that laughed at him and said, what the fuck he said? He said, I guess guessing is harder than knowing. He said that shit on the air. And it's true. Some people are saying but they just knew what was coming. I'm like, dude, at a professional level, you know how much easier your fucking life is if you know what's coming rather than the guessing?
If you know a righty's throwing a slider
and a bunch of a bunch of Hall of Fame pitchers said, I'd rather play a guy that's fucking roided up
that knows what you're throwing.
What I'm about to throw.
That's a huge difference.
And for a pitcher to say that should signify how hard
how significant it is.
How much of a destruction to the sport that is. Dude, that's like me. It's like, yo, imagine I had the option to cheat in a game, right? Would I rather have aimbot or know where that guy's coming from? I would choose know where that guy's coming from 10 out of 10 times. So I could be in a better position, so I could know, I could win the fight. Right. So if I'm a professional baseball player, bro,
tell me what pitch he's playing. Yeah,
and
tell me what pitch he's throwing.
Especially in certain people like Kershaw and even Chapman, where they have a crazy arsenal. Like Kershaw has a crazy arsenal. Chapman's arsenal is only crazy because he could throw triple digits.
Yeah.
So
consistently he throws that shit.
Yeah. So imagine you're playing against Kershaw and you know a fucking curveball's coming, bro.
That's everything. That's everything.
Just I'm gonna sit here, wait for a 77 miles per hour, bink, and versus a 96. You're like, bro.
He's hitting you with and Kershaw's hitting you with mid to high 90s
Yeah,
fastball.
like it ain't no like.
That's
90
nothing.
Yeah.
That's not nothing. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's no fucking Kevin Wakefield shitty ass knuckleball. All right, that's something else.
Yeah. So, but like I don't know. That's why like that whole scandal, and I felt like there was more shit going on too. But I feel like they're just keeping on the rug, and it sucks that this year was a COVID year because I would have loved to see these fucking dudes at every ballpark. The Astros.
Yeah, they were getting
spring
booed
training.
insane.
They were getting shit thrown at them. They were getting cursed out by the fans. Like it was bad. Like it was only 3 players too. It wasn't the whole. It was literally fucking Altuve, Correa, and Bregman.
Dude,
that was getting flamed.
Altuve cannot survive, and then like, dude, he can.
Look up his stats. Look how crazy the stats.
Because I remember thinking, I was like, when I was watching Jose Altuve do all this, I'm like, wait, how tall is he? How much does he weigh?
It's like 5'6", 5'8".
Yeah, I'm like punching these numbers, and I'm like, how is this 5'6" guy blasting home runs off of Cy Young level pitchers? And now we know.
Look at Jose
He was
Altuve's,
cheating.
Look at Jose Altuve's 2020 stat batting average.
That's so fucking bad.
219. Look at his career batting average, 311.
Because now they can't cheat because the fucking microscope is on them at any
Jose
little thing that they do.
Altuve in a 60-game span only had 5 home runs this year.
That's not supposed to be that way, according to his prior
That
history.
man was literally about to beat Aaron Judge in the home run race the other year. Like, what the fuck? He was right behind him, yo.
Oh my god.
Aaron Judge a fucking titan, yo. He looks like a Greek god or some shit. He doesn't have a normal body.
Right.
That man's
He's
gifted
gigantic.
as fuck. I wish I had that gene. Shit. 219 average. What was your average in 2019? It was. How you check this shit?
A lot better. Significantly better, probably.
Yeah, it's bro, it's really crazy.
BaseballReference.com.
Yeah, I'm here.
They got the stats.
I mean, I'm literally looking. I'm just trying.
BaseballReference.com always comes through with the statistics. This podcast is sponsored by BaseballReference.com.
2019, 298. 2018, 316. 2017, where they beat the Yankees in the LCS.
Mm-hmm. Beat the
His
Yankees.
average was 346.
That's
Bro,
unheard
that's
of.
god tier.
It's unheard of.
His average before that was 338.
That's why I was telling people he's literally Jesus Christ reincarnate. Because who does that?
The drop off between 346 and 219 is fucking insane.
The last like legit thing that I remember seeing, unquestionable, according to what I remember, was when Josh Hamilton had his crazy year. He was just on heroin, which, not steroids, but maybe heroin helped him out. But Josh Hamilton, when
it could be like some Queen's Gambit shit. That chick needed drugs to like fucking look at the wall.
No, I remember that year Josh Hamilton had like 140 RBIs by the All-Star break. Like it was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yo,
he blasted like 30 home runs in a single round in the home run derby. I was like, what the fuck is? This is fucking stupid.
He was definitely a GOAT at that time. What's he call his career?
Legendary.
264 batting average this year.
Better years before.
Let me see your average last year, buddy.
Last year, buddy.
315.
Yeah, they're caught.
That's crazy, bro.
They're caught.
The numbers just be dropping off.
Anyways, but I guess all of that is why I don't have a super problem with the Negro Leagues being added to the MLB, because the MLB record, like the only person I have, like, well, not the only person, but who I have big issue with being considered for the Hall of Fame, he's not going so far, is Mark McGwire. His lifetime average is like 270. If you take away his home runs, I mean, he's got to be one of the most roided up people in the game.
Oh, yeah.
If you take away Mark McGwire's home runs, that average drops. He's not winning batting titles. He's not known for his average. He doesn't steal bases.
Man,
You
this
know?
is the thing. You're just
It's just
a
like
meathead.
you either exactly, like if you're just a meathead and that's all you are, like then you don't deserve to go anywhere.
Did he even win a ring? I don't even think he won a ring.
I mean, whether he did or not, I mean that's no it doesn't matter.
I mean, like,
too
I'm
much
just saying,
to
like,
me.
what did he do that was so significant to the franchise?
Well,
that
just
he's
the home run
considered-
record at the time with Sammy Sosa, the home run record.
Yeah,
That was like his big thing. Which, you know, Sammy Sosa was on steroids too, so.
and then change his face.
And then changed his face, and now he looks fucking insane. And I'm gonna
Looks like
post that face in this video so people can see what Sammy Sosa looks like. If you make it this far, 2.5 hours into the podcast, you get to see Sammy Sosa's Michael Jackson fake vitiligo face because he was skin bleaching,
Didn't like the way he looked.
which he looked regular, just a regular Dominican dude. But I guess that's not
From the Isla. Like, I don't know.
not good enough for him.
He was like an idol back home too. He just ruined everything.
Dude, I remember I used to read his books as a kid. When I was a
Me
kid, I
too.
read Sammy
Me
Sosa
too.
books
Yep.
and how he played baseball with the glove that was made out of a spread open milk carton. And that's how he played baseball. Fielding ground balls with a milk carton. I can't even do that shit with a regular
That's
glove.
why I love Mariano.
Dude.
That's the story of Mariano's crazy. If they ever came out with some proof of Mariano cheating, bro,
It would
I
hurt
lose
you.
all hope
It
in
would
baseball.
crush you.
I lose all hope in baseball, bro.
I start watching some other shit.
Mariano's literally the one person that I could literally say I grew up watching a legitimate god at the game. Like, he was legit the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was the guy that if you sent him into the playoffs to close out a game, 99% chance you're going to win the game. Very minimal. Like they said, like, there's a statistic out there that said more men have walked on the moon than scored off Mariano in the playoffs. That is fucking insane.
Walk
That
on
is
the-
such an insane stat. Like, what? Like, bro, that's actually crazy. So, that's why he's the GOAT. That's why I got a picture with him. You know what I'm saying?
Go Yankees.
Go Yankees.
Go Cubs, even though Gio hates the Cubs, and we know
Go
this
Cubs,
is the
but
facts. You rooted against the Cubs in
Cubs
the
are like
2016
one
World
trick
Series, and you
ponies.
know this. He rooted against them in the World
That
Series.
is a fucking lie.
That is a fucking fact. Giovanni
sure I
Ramirez, bonus box of chocolates. That's the end of the episode. 2.5 hours is long enough. Peace. Say peace.
Later. Box of chocolates.